The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey!
Why?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
Ah!
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers,
You pig! Stop! Damn it!
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Sport!
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this March Madness Monday, Izzo 18th, 2024. This sports program starts now.
Sports!
That was just for a small niche group of human beings that cheer for Michigan State. Go green.
Go white.
In the tournament, obviously. Saying go white by yourself on an ISO into a TV as a white person is certainly a decision, but that's Michigan State, and that's Michigan State basketball showing up in March. Congrats on making a tourney.
26 straight years, baby.
Congrats.
Izzo legend, Hall of Famer. Love it.
That's Evan Fox. Next to him was Zito, Gumpy, and Nick are in the back alongside Bruce and Dirty and Mitt and Bill. The Toxic Table is here. At Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Ty.
Here we go.
Huge news.
Oh, yeah.
The number one seed in one of the...
Yeah. I guess you could say the number 2 overall seed.
Yeah, undefeated South Carolina team.
Right. Yeah, it's hard. Right.
We are headed to Iowa this Friday. We'll be live at the Fieldhouse. They're saying it'll be a 2,500 person max occupancy for our show on Friday at the Fieldhouse. Now, where is this thing that we're going? It's not the bar that we're going to be
No,
at.
it's not the bar of the Fieldhouse. It is. It's over like near the hospital and where like Carver Hawkeye Arena is, and over kind of by Kinnick as well. So like it's on the I want to say it's the west side of the river, but right by a bunch of the residence halls. And it's where the old, that's where all the students used to go before they built a new rec center downtown.
Now, they said we could go into the arena. Shout out to Iowa and the university for being so incredibly kind, because the game is Saturday at 3 where Caitlin Clark will do its thing, her thing.
Oh, yeah.
Now, that entire Hawkeye team will do its thing. Now, I do believe there's other games being played there as well. I think West Virginia's playing out there.
Yeah, they are.
So there's practice isn't happening. So they said there'll be no audience if we're to do the show live from the arena. So we're going to stay at the Fieldhouse. 2,500. I guess Fire Marshal already has a heads up that we're coming. So there'll be some counting going in. But we cannot wait to see the beautiful people of Iowa. Yeah. Roman Reigns already slotted to be making a trip to the gorgeous campus over there. There's also some legends that are going to be stopping by. Okay. We're trying to stack the card because we would like to showcase a celebration of the women's game with the NCAA Women's Championship basically being a topic of discussion everywhere, where I'm not sure it has been that this entire time. Now, last year, we obviously caught the bug. Whenever we were watching South Carolina play, LSU play with Angel Reese, that's where we were introduced. Whenever she was doing a You Can't See Me Do, Caitlin Clark, who happens to be the most electrifying basketball player to come through the Midwest in some time. The Virginia Tech Hokies women's team did great. Miami had a run last year. So we'll be excited to, kick off that tournament on Friday in Iowa. It is going to be a blast. Next Tuesday, we'll be live at the NFL owners meeting. Let's go. We got the men's March Madness tournament taking place, women's taking place, and a lot of NFL news, which brings me to one half of the hammer. Dahn, Cowboys, Tone Diggs, Pittsburgh Steelers, die hard. Okay? If there was a bullet that was shot from, let's say, the other side of Earth, and we all knew that it was coming, and it was aiming for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Tone Diggs, among many others, I'm not saying he's the only one, would be a person I would say, all right, I'll do it for the good of the Pittsburgh Steelers and jump in front of that thing. For an organization and a team that is representing the city so well and brought so much happiness, although over the last few years, handful of years, decade maybe, recent history, it has just been bad. We've just been bad. Doing the same old thing that we've been doing since the 80s, since the 90s, and it's now becoming a point where it's getting a little bit monotonous. So then Omar Khan, which people are calling the con artist because the deals that he makes maybe with the Chicago Bears for a backup quarterback is changing things up, bringing in some electricity. Not only investing on the defense side of the ball, but changing the quarterback room in its entirety. Just 2 years removed from taking a quarterback in the first round, that guy's sent out of town. Yeah. Not ceremoniously.
No.
Even though he did great things for the University of Pittsburgh, and those reunions will be fantastic because he did win the ACC championship there. Congratulations.
Hopefully, Kenny.
When he comes back years from now, it'll be good. But right now, there's a lot of shit being talked to Kenny Pickett from Yinzers because he didn't want to compete with Russell Wilson. So who's going to be competing with Mr. Unlimited? Well, for a 6th-round pick that could become a 5th-round pick, depending on how much time this man plays, Justin Fields is the newest member of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, when they were talking about a home for Justin Fields, Pittsburgh was always seemingly was a place that had some interest. Now, Adam Schefter been on the program. He'll be joining us again here in about 15 minutes in the past. And he said Mike Tomlin loves Justin Fields. And with Artie Smith coming in there, Artie Smith in Atlanta last year was linked to Justin Fields because they thought Artie's offense would be great for a mobile, powerful, electrifying quarterback like Justin Fields. Now, there are some stats coming out about Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. For instance, I guess they're the only 2 quarterbacks, okay, who have won fewer than 20 games and lost 25-plus games since 2021. That's coming from Dante Koplowitz Fleming, who's on the NFL research team.
Okay.
So a pretty legit dude here. Russell Wilson, 17-27 since 2021. Justin Fields, 10-28 since 2021. So whenever you look at stats like that, you think to yourself, well, both these guys stink. Who cares? Well, I don't think that's how the Pittsburgh Steelers see it. I don't think that's how a lot of folks see it because their stats being presented now to Pittsburgh Steelers fans that he's basically Lamar Jackson.
That's right.
Yeah, you go back in the last 20 games. Let's go ahead and take a little look-see here. Drop back 663 to 668. Is that same?
Praise him.
Is that same whenever you get up to that much? Less than what, 5% or something like that difference. 66% completion for the MVP, Lamar Jackson. Justin Fields, 62.
Not bad.
He's in the ballpark. Yards per attempt, Lamar Jackson, he's throwing that thing 7.8. Not a bad clip. You know, got new offense over there.
Yeah.
Bunch of weapons over there. Justin Fields, 6.8.
Okay.
Just a yard difference. We only need 10 of those for a first down, so that's not that big of a difference. Touchdown interception ratio, Lamar, 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, won the MVP.
That's interesting.
Justin Fields, 26 touchdowns, same amount.
Wow.
14 interceptions, right? No,
No.
not on Justin Fields. Rush yards, well, Lamar's known for this, right? Lamar's the mobile quarterback that everybody's hoping that every mobile quarterback could potentially become because of how great he has become for that Baltimore Ravens offense. 1,000-yard rusher. Yeah. That's really good. Justin Fields, 1,376. That's almost 1,400 yards.
Whoa. My God.
We're no math with this. Is that 24 yards away from 1,400, which is just one run of Justin Fields? One run away from a 1,400-yard rusher over the left. Is this guy a running back?
It's absurd.
Is Russell Wilson the quarterback, and he's handing off to Justin Fields? 1,400 yards last weekend. And then rush touchdowns. Lamar's only got 6. Justin Fields got 9, obviously. So you start looking at some numbers, you think to yourself, what? Hold the phone.
Yeah.
Justin Fields has a lot of upside.
Bingo.
Justin Fields is still young. Justin Fields is going to a team in which the coach loves him as opposed to at a place where they changed over the general manager and the coach seemingly in the middle of his tenure. So right now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans are celebrating their asses off. Tone Diggs, is that an accurate depiction of the new quarterback room over there?
Yeah, it is. You called me on Saturday afternoon. You said, hey, Tone, just watching some clips, studying some film. Sounded like you're using your maybe voice when you were talking about Russ.
That is true. Because remember, he said, yeah, we're wearing our jerseys to the stadium.
Yeah, we like that.
Okay? We like that, okay? That's what he said about Russell Wilson. Yeah, we're eating danger witches. We love it.
Okay. Enjoy him.
We love to. Mr. Unlimited is our hero. We love it, okay? You were saying a lot of that last week as you seemingly were selling yourself, didn't it?
Oh yeah. Big time.
Sound like you were selling yourself, and you are prototypical Yinzer when it comes to the Steelers.
Yeah.
So I did want a little bit more information. Like, are we really into this, or are we fake into this because it's $1.2 million? And you said?
Well, I told you on the phone that I am much more excited this year than I was last year about the quarterback situation. That was before the trade even happened on Saturday when that room got even more dynamic. And you first mentioned Omar Khan, okay? that man has been cleaning house. It's spring sprung last week. It's a little chilly this week, but spring had sprung last week, and Omar said, hey, we need to do some cleaning around here. And he did. He got rid of a lot of loose baggage. And then you talk about Omar Khan and the Chicago Bears. He got the 32nd overall pick 2 years ago for Chase Claypool, okay?
True.
The 32nd overall pick. We got Joey Porter Jr. with that one. Worked out pretty well. And then this year he goes, who am I going to fleece this year? Oh, the Chicago Bears. Why wouldn't I do that again? And he just flops it right on Pole's desk again.
Oh, you're saying Khan flopped Pole on Pole's desk.
Yeah, and he said, I don't know.
That's a lot of Poles.
Maybe a sixth next year? How do you feel about that? And yeah, they took the bait again. And you talked about those stats. Justin Fields to Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson had 26 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. That's the same that Russ had too. So just something to look at there. That's our starting.
Oh, so you combine it. You guys got 50
touchdowns.
Something to think about there. And I'm going to read this because I want to get it right. Okay. Since 1950, 2 quarterbacks have improved year over year in yards, completion percentage, interception percentage, pass rating, and most importantly, wins. Okay, that's Josh Allen, who's pretty good quarterback. Okay,
we like him,
and Justin Fields, who is slated to be the backup currently for the Steelers. Now, that spells good things for this man's future. So maybe Russ has 2 futures to worry about right now. Something to think about. Okay,
3 maybe.
Yeah.
4. Oh yeah, because a junior. But
3 sports star. He's wearing pirate stuff.
Yeah, he is. So something to think about there. But yeah, I am very, 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 very excited. Not only for the quarterback room in that future, because I mean, there's really no risk except for losing, really. But other than that, they didn't really put a lot into money-wise into these 2 or compensation.
You're right. I forgot. Some seasons it is actual life and death.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not just losing games.
No. Nope.
Some seasons it's like, hey, at the end of the year, people are going to get beheaded.
Yep.
We don't win.
That's right. Shoot you in the head if you play bad.
Because I guess the worst thing happens is just losing.
That's right.
I appreciate that mindset.
Yeah.
But we are very, very excited, and not only like just for this, but also the mindset that Omar Khan has, because there needed to be a change. Because like you said, for the last 7 or so years, it's been kind of meh. But now the future is bright, my friend.
Last playoff win for the Pittsburgh Steelers was in 2016, I do believe. So it's been almost a decade. And, I mean, you dropped your hat over there, Ty, because you could sense that the Steelers fans are all zeked up over this entire thing. As a guy who saw Justin Fields' growth, in the rivalry games that are the Packers versus the Bears as a Packer owner, I think we can all admit that 2 years ago when they earned themselves the number 1 overall pick, Justin Fields was the only flashy thing on the team.
Yeah.
By far.
The only highlight coming out of that place was Justin Fields tucking it and running for 70 yards, maybe. Outrunning people, too. Big, strong, faster than everybody. Then going into last season, now everybody, kind of forgets they didn't earn a number 1 overall pick.
No.
Chicago. They earned it by fleecing the Panthers.
That's right.
Seemingly. Now, there's been a lot of fleecing going on in every deal, but a deal is only a good one if it ends up making your team great. If a team ends up stinking after fleecing somebody, who cares? Then who fleeced who in the entire thing? Maybe everybody got fleeced in the situation. But Justin Fields, you think he's a future NFL quarterback? What is the thoughts around the NFL? I think so. I think you put him in the right situation, which feels like this could be the one. And, of course, there's some throws that are, missed by Justin Fields. But what young quarterback doesn't miss throws? I guess you could say C.J. Stroud.
Sure. Yeah.
I that would be one of the only ones. But it's sometimes he makes bad decisions. Sometimes he misses something. But were the Bears a team that weren't going to make mistakes regardless anyways? I don't think so. What a beautiful thing for Justin Fields to happen. And allegedly, it has been reported that there was 3 other teams or 4 other teams, depending upon whether it was 5 total or 4 total, that were interested on Justin Fields. And Justin Fields and Mulugeta, his agent, who we know. Monster.
Yeah.
The guy.
Needs to be negotiating deals for our country,
Yes.
but
Bingo.
he's doing it in the NFL. Very, very impressed by his work and what he's able to accomplish. Allegedly, the Bears and Mulugeta and Justin Fields talked. He wanted to go to Pittsburgh because of the future and what he saw and what he thought of the organization, I assume, with Tomlin, and they ended up getting that deal done. Now, did any of the other teams have a better offer for him? Maybe a 5th rounder this year as opposed to a 6th rounder next year, and they decided to kind of go because it was kind of in the same thing? Maybe, who knows? But shout out to Poles doing right by Justin Fields as they both turn to their next chapter. Chicago, Caleb Williams, we assume.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
A lot of photos of him hitting the internet this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of photos hitting the internet. I did not know that he was in GQ wearing a dress.
Me neither.
Dog.
Look at the confidence that you have to just go into GQ wearing a dress, knowing that everybody's going to talk.
Oh, yeah.
No, and everybody's going to take shots at you.
Yep.
Does not care, does his thing. Now, I saw a lot of people putting the Chicago Bears logo right here on his chest.
Sure.
And they're thinking maybe put this dress on because he's the belle of the ball for the Chicago Bears.
Could be.
And now that they've traded away Justin Fields, they seemingly officially announced that this guy's going to Chicago. He also had some other photos. He's wearing cleats whenever he's dressed up.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if everybody knows that.
Guy loves
He's
football.
wearing cleats. Right? If he could get to the Chargers to work out with Jim Harbaugh, that might be his place. People are saying this guy, maybe he's into some stuff as he's modeling and fashion.
Sure.
And he's not focused on football. He's got football cleats on in his GQ fashion shoot.
Boom.
Can we zoom in on those, please? Boom. And they match the whole entire fit. The guy's accessorizing
Exactly.
as a football player. This is what we need in this thing. This is fashion. Hashtag fashion forward. You guys would never understand.
You think there's like Stephon Diggs? You think there's shin pads underneath those pants when he was wearing the cleats?
Well, I think they know you're going out. Hockey night, you got the shin guards on.
Yep.
Football night, we got the cleats and the helmet.
Right.
He's wearing a helmet out there. You know what I mean? And then whenever he needs to show his game face, boom, flex on him.
Exactly.
And I was told he wasn't oiled or lubed up. This is natural sweat that he worked up thinking about football.
Okay. Wow.
Just thinking about football, the mental reps he was able to have got him so jacked up that he was breaking a sweat. It's that type of stuff that like the greats are able to do. Tiger Woods able to visualize a hole, and he's able to play the entire thing in his mind, so he gets extra reps. Caleb Williams was actually repping out an entire Super Bowl run before this, which is why he's so sweaty out there.
Exactly.
So that's who's going to Chicago. I think Chicago, good city for Caleb Williams.
Awesome city for him.
Big city, a lot of opportunity.
Oh, yeah,
I
second biggest.
think he'll be able to handle the pressure. It's the third largest, after LA. Of course, New York, LA to Chicago, and Houston's trying.
Oh, yeah.
Houston's trying to get him. Phoenix is trying to make a jump as well, especially with what they're doing with the casitas outside of the stadium. But I think Caleb's going to do well. And I saw RG3 on the ones.
Saw that too, yeah.
On the podcast. Now, RG3 has a statue at Baylor.
He does.
People forget that. I think people are forgetting that as they're watching RG3 on TV. I'm not saying all people, but some people forget. RG3 has a statue outside of a stadium in college football right now, okay? That's who RG3 was on the field in college. He goes to the Washington.
Old name.
Yep.
Football team.
2 teams ago, before football team.
Football club.
Puts us in a spot.
It does.
A lot of people just say it.
Yeah, they do, because historically, that was who drafted.
It's accurate,
Right.
yeah.
Historically,
RG3.
a lot of things were said. We shouldn't do it.
Yeah, you're right. Historically, a lot of things
That's a
happen.
good point.
Can we just call them the Reds?
The amount.
Whoa.
Close.
Whoa. Easy.
Little close.
Easy.
Little close
Definitely.
right there. Yeah, because Cincinnati's already a team name, so.
Exactly.
Judges say no.
Okay, thumbs down. Anyways, the team that was called the. See?
Yeah,
I could have done that
Washington
right there.
team.
And I think others would have done that. We're not doing that.
You could say potatoes,
That's against Irish people. You shouldn't do that.
Sure, true.
because the appetizer would be potato skins. Instead of saying the second
We'll just say
part.
the team that was in the D.C. area.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes it make sense.
Yeah.
The team that was in the D.C. area drafted him. He wins Rookie of the Year over Andrew Luck. Now, remember, the team that was in the D.C. area traded everything to get RG3. Once Andrew Luck goes to the Colts, which I think everybody knew, RG3 was going to be the next guy highly sought after. Nobody wanted him more than the football team that was in D.C. It doesn't end up working out because of injuries, I think, that take place. He had a hot start. It ends up not working. Him and Jay Gruden, I don't think, saw eye to eye.
Nope.
At the time or now. But he came out and said something very interesting about what Caleb should do as a guy who got drafted at the top of a draft and has been in an NFL building and understands seemingly how the NFL works.
Caleb Williams should pull a Eli Manning and demand that the Chicago Bears do not draft him #1 overall. After everything that's happened with Justin Fields, can Caleb Williams really look at that and say, you know what? This is the organization that has my best interests at heart, and they're going to help develop me into the player that I want to become. Caleb Williams is on record saying that he wants to be legendary. He wants to rewrite history, and he wants to be the best that he can possibly be and win the most games he can possibly win. After the Bears took Justin Fields, the 11th pick in the draft, and turned him into a 6th round pick in the 2025 draft by trading him to the Pittsburgh Steelers, can Caleb Williams really look at that and say, you know what? Yeah, this organization is going to help get me where
Same
I want to
coaches.
go.
Yeah.
I don't think it's saying that. Eli Manning had power in that 2004 draft. And he let the Chargers know, don't draft me. I don't believe in the direction that your organization is going, and I don't want to play there. He refused to play for them, even threatened to sit out an entire season if they drafted him. And they still drafted him. And the look on his face when he's holding up the jersey said everything. So what happened?
Eli.
The Chargers traded him to the New York Giants for
His
Phillip Rivers, also a 2004 third-round pick, and then the first and fifth-round picks in the 2005 NFL draft. What did Eli end up doing? He won 2 Super Bowls for the New York Giants. Had a great career. So, for Caleb Williams, don't get me wrong, guys. I thought Ryan Poles was having an amazing offseason up until this trade for Justin Fields, because you trade Justin Fields so you can get some players back to help your team out this year. Because Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus, the head coach of the Chicago Bears, they're in a lame duck season. They have to win this year or they're going to get fired. And don't get me wrong. Hey, hand the football off to DeAndre Swift, throwing the ball to Keenan Allen and DJ Moore and Cole Kmet. Those guys are phenomenal. This ain't anything about them. This is about Caleb Williams and what team out there gives him the best chance to be successful. Only he can deem that. Yes, I do think him going back to Washington, where he's from, he's a D.C. kid, went to Gonzaga College High School. Okay? I think that's the best spot right now. But he has to answer that question. And if he says, all right, I see everything that's been going on, and now I can make the decision and say, I don't think that the Chicago Bears are the best place for me or my family to accomplish all the goals that we want to accomplish, then he needs to let that be known. He does have power right now, and he should exercise it if he feels like Chicago is not where he should be.
Okay. All right, RG3. I appreciate that. There was conversations a couple years back about Joe Burrow maybe doing this at Cincinnati.
That's right.
You know, because Cincinnati's still being voted not that great of a facility, not that great of an operation. You know, that entire thing when it comes to the NFLPA report card. But they got new ownership, new run, new camp, new everything. So they feel like they're a brand new building, and they should be proud. Hey, let's go, Bears. They should be very proud to turn that whole thing around. I assume the Bears are thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
We got new GM, new president, new coach, new culture. We're getting new players in here. So you can't judge us off of what has happened, you know, historically in the Chicago Bears for the last 20 years, which you guys suck. Garbage. Trash bag.
Yep. Hot.
Garbage.
It's only up from here, though.
Real bad.
But it feels like, because it's been so bad over time, inevitably you would think the odds would say you hit on something.
Yes.
And it feels like Ryan Poles has a vision. Eberflus is a guy who helped with the entire vision, I would assume, because he's a culture setter. When he was here in Indianapolis, everybody loved him. Players loved him. His assistant coaches loved him. Head coach loved him. Irsay loved him. Literally, he was such a great defense coordinator here. He got a head coaching job in the time when they were only hiring offensive head coaches. So I think, like, judging the Chicago Bears strictly off of what has happened over the last 20 years is a little bit rude. But with that being said, RG3 has a much better sense of what could potentially be great for a high draft pick and what cannot be, as opposed to us. But I would just say, saying the Washington Commanders are a franchise that'll be able to take care of them as opposed to the Bears, we all just wonder on what grounds. On what grounds are you able to say that? I don't think any of us are 100% sure.
No, and obviously Dan Snyder's not there anymore, but like, what has this new ownership group proved in terms of like they know how to be like, we don't know yet. Like they could, you obviously won't have nearly as much off the field stuff and like all that other bullshit that Dan Snyder kind of brought, but like we don't know if they're going to be any good. I mean, none of those guys have been in the NFL before, so it just, and also like, don't you think when you're getting drafted, like Caleb Williams, like all these guys, and you can call it hubris or whatever you want, like he believes he can be the guy to turn the Bears around.
Well, if you're getting drafted at 1, you're probably going to a place that wasn't fantastic last year.
For sure.
This year, different though.
Yeah.
It's not even their number 1 overall pick. It's somebody else's number 1 overall pick. And at the end of the season, it was like they invested in the defense. They invested in a running back now. They got weapons they've invested in. It's like that's a perfect place for a rookie quarterback to go, which is why I wonder if this was all just for him to say we need Caleb to be in Washington because his heart. Remember, he was going to buy to Washington with a GoFundMe.
That's right.
Remember that whole thing was going to happen.
Couple $100 million.
This is also the first time, too, the head coach and GM actually had their quarterback. Every single time the Bears have had a head coach, it was always from the previous head coach GM. So
which once again goes back to why RG3 was saying this place is stunk, which we,
So it's a new page.
Acknowledge.
We acknowledge.
Yes.
We acknowledge.
Of course.
Always.
We acknowledge that that's the case. We also acknowledge our tribal chief. He'll be there on Friday in Iowa live, 2,500 people allowed. If we get 2,500 people there, that'll be very dumb. But we acknowledge that the Bears have stunk. Like, we acknowledge that. But it feels like with the new regime, things are maybe coming around.
Yeah.
Joining us now is a guy who might have a little bit more information about what's going to take place draft night, maybe around the NFL as a whole. Senior NFL insider for ESPN, friend of the program, Michigan man. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Schefter. Schefter, our peer, RG3, said on his podcast that Caleb Williams should command to not go to the Chicago Bears because they haven't proven that they can take care of a top draft pick because of what happened with Justin Fields going from an 11th overall pick to a 2026 or 2025 sixth round draft pick in just a matter of a few years. How'd that deal come together? Because it's being reported that there was other teams that were interested in Justin Fields, but Mulugeta and Justin Fields wanted to go to Pittsburgh. Was there better offers? Was this the market? Kind of how'd that Justin Fields Pittsburgh thing come together in your eyes, Shefty?
Listen, here's what I would say about that. Basically, there were teams at various points that might have had some interest in Justin Fields. But if the Bears had a better offer, a strong offer for Justin Fields, I think they would have acted upon that. Yes, he did want to go to Pittsburgh. That was his preference. But the fact of the matter also is that they unloaded him for a sixth-round pick in 2025. That could go up to a fourth-round pick. And he wanted to go there, and they accommodated him in the end. But if there was a team out there that was offering the Sam Darnold package at 246, I think they would have done that. They just didn't have it. They didn't have it from anybody else. And so when they didn't have strong offers and other teams that were out there filled their quarterback needs, they went ahead and acquiesced and essentially said to him, okay, yeah, we'll send you to Pittsburgh, and we'll do it for a conditional sixth-round pick that could go up to a 4.
It's a nice fresh start for Justin Fields. I think we're all pretty pumped for him. Mike Tomlin has, publicly, and I think even you reported on our show either months ago or weeks ago how much Tomlin likes Justin Fields. Feels like a perfect situation. And Russell Wilson says, hey, his QB room about to be awesome. So feels like they're on the same page. Are you breaking news right now? Is there something happening, like literally as we speak?
No, there's always stuff going on. Right?
What do you think? Is now draft talk or is now still free agency conversation happening?
Look, I think we're transitioning into the draft, Pat, but the fact of the matter is that there's still some leftover stuff that's just lingering out there, right? So until that stuff gets cleaned up, then there'll still be stuff going on.
For instance, Tone Diggs has a question for you, Shefty.
Yeah, Adam,
yes.
You reported that Mike Williams...
Wait, hold on. We tried to tell you. that the Steelers did like Justin Fields and Russell Wilson.
Schefter, you were right on, and I've never doubted.
Hell yeah. Proud of you, bud. That's awesome. That's real. That's a good time. That's a good thing to have happen if you're in your job.
Yeah, it is.
That's a good thing to have.
Now, you've also told us Steelers fans that Mike Williams is going to be visiting this week, as well as visiting the Jets and Panthers. And some Colts fans are saying that he might be visiting there, too. I'm not sure about that. Is that a courting situation with Mike Williams where these teams are courting him, or he's trying to see if it's a fit? Because I know, like, this late in free agency, is he trying to drum up interest? What's the situation with Mike Williams?
Well, he's scheduled to visit Pittsburgh later in the week. He's scheduled to be the last visit. Now, I say scheduled because in free agency, you never know if these visits are going to come off. I think the Chargers, now that they've traded Keenan Allen, have an interest in bringing him back. And for all we know, he's leveraging these visits into a better deal with the Chargers. You just don't ever really know until it's done. But as it is right now, he's scheduled to arrive in New Jersey tonight, to visit with the Jets tomorrow, to then go to Carolina to visit with the Panthers, to then go to visit with the Steelers while the Chargers have some interest. Where he ends up from that group, we don't know yet.
What about Colts?
But those are his options.
What about
right
the Colts,
now.
Shefty? How much money are the Chargers paying him? He's not going to the Colts.
I've not heard the Colts connected to Mike Williams.
What's that all about? Why don't you tell him get connected? Why don't you send hey Chris? Don't you think? Maybe a 6'7" guy
still got it,
who can still. And how many games? Whenever we looked it up.
So he played in 3 last year, but then basically the rest of his career he's played at least 13 in his seasons.
He's big, so there's going to be. And
I'm saying his reputation is that he's always hurt. I don't think he's as hurt as people think.
Well, and I think you potentially dove into that because he might be a Steeler.
Bingo.
So just like you were diving in on Mr. Dangerwich and Mr. Unlimited, kind of selling yourself. But why not? Every team looking at how much are the Chargers paying him still?
$20 million against their cap.
So what's that mean? That means they're probably like paying him 18 or 17. They have to pay him next year or no?
Basically, Mike Williams, cap savings $20 million, dead money $12 million, $12.46 million. Obviously, if you're redoing a deal on him, that's a totally separate deal. So they've moved on from him. They've cut him, but they have an interest in bringing him back as well.
Okay, I'm excited to see how it pans out. I assume there's a lot of people fascinated because Calvin Ridley goes. KJ Osborne gets signed.
Look out.
You know, the wide receiver market up to the Patriots. Obviously, that's why you heard Connor say that. So let's stay in free agency before we move to the draft. Ty's got a question for you.
Yeah, Shefty, what's going on with Justin Simmons? It seemed like early on, people were kind of connecting the Eagles to him maybe, and then they obviously went a different route. But he's, Pro Bowler. Obviously, he's getting a little bit older. But I figured he would be one of those guys who would get signed pretty quickly. But we haven't really heard much in terms of interest for him. Where do you see him winding up?
Well, I don't have a projected home for you right now. I think in part because the safety market has been so crowded. If you go back and look, that may have been the most crowded position there in running back, and the run on running backs went on early. But the safeties are still out there, and Justin Simmons is going to be pretty selective as a guy who's intercepted more passes than any player in the league since 2018. So he can afford to be a little bit selective. I don't know where he's going to wind up right now. I don't have a home to give you for Justin Simmons. But, again, you look at the safeties that have been out there. Jamal Adams is still out there. Other safeties still out there. Justin Simmons still out there. Don't have a home for you right now.
Okay, let's stay in the secondary as you got two more calls while Ty was asking. Is there something popping off right now, Shefty? There's something popping off.
Can you see as the texts are coming in? What happens? It goes black?
Shefty, I see everything. I hear everything. I see everything. Okay, Wall Street Journal, I see you. And I will not forget. Okay, I will not. I will not. But I see. Is there something cooking right now? Is there something cooking?
No. I just got people texting like that. That's what it is.
What are they saying? Hey, Shefty, how's your Monday? Are you filling out a bracket? Is there any small talk about humans in the middle of your work during your text messages?
Some. Very little. But
how's the family? Yeah. Good. All right, we'll sign this guy. We're getting ready. Is that how it goes?
No one gives a crap about the family right now, Pat.
Yeah, you're right.
Business.
Well, I also saw your screen time is at like 17 hours and 23 minutes or something. So talking about caring about family, I think your family's probably a little bit worried about that's from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep. You're on your phone, brushing teeth, the whole thing. Hey, we appreciate your sacrifice.
Thank you, Shefty.
Your eyes are going to suck.
Good job.
Yeah. We assume you're burning something in your brain as well.
Yeah, for sure.
We don't know what the future holds for you from all your screen time, let alone
you know what?
the 5G.
I'll just tell you this. I've noticed over time that your brain becomes rewired to the point where it used to be that after the draft, I would save like 2-3 books a year to read. I loved reading. I can't even tell you the last time I read a book. Okay, like my brain has been rewired to not be able to sit down and concentrate on something and just let yourself go. I used to love to go to the movies. I don't remember the last time I went to the movies at all, nor do I have the attention span to sit there for 2 hours or 3 hours for Oppenheimer to watch a movie. Right?
All those movies are 3 hours because they just got so much shit they need to say. But it's tough. What you're talking about is what we all suffer from. I think that are probably in this fear, not as much as you, but that's an addiction to your phone.
For sure.
That's what it's rewired your brain. The action even of checking your phone is a part of it. Like smokers, they can get people's bodies to be away from it, but a lot of people like the action of smoking. Like checking your phone is like something I think that your leg will even vibrate as if you're getting a text message or something when it's in your pocket. Yeah, we're all ruined. We're all going to have to go to rehab.
You know what's funny about that? A couple of years ago, a couple of mutual friends invited me down to the Masters for the day. I'd never been before. I'd never been. So they didn't tell me that you're not allowed to have your phone on the course. So you have to check your phone and make sure that it's not with you. And so if I had known that, I probably wouldn't have gone. But I did go. And I'm walking around. It was the first time that I ever been without my phone. And just like you're saying, like a smoker reaching, but I kept reaching into my pocket to go get the phone that wasn't there.
Yeah, you're a fiend, Shefty. You're a fiend. So we all are, though. Yeah. We all are. They got us all. Let's talk about maybe some news that's coming through there. The Colts are signing Snead. He's on a franchise tag with the Kansas City Chiefs. There was a blogger named Destin Adams who covers the Indianapolis Colts this weekend who said, I have it on good authority that Snead is going to be an Indianapolis Colt, or that they're in the lead potentially in trying to get him. Diana Rossini, I believe, obviously formerly formerly of your insider team over there at ESPN, now at The Athletic. She's saying that she's hearing the same thing. I'm pretty zeked up. I'm sneaked up, if that's the case, if we're doing it. Is that happening here in Indy? And how does this feels like a lot more franchise tag negotiations with other teams taking place as opposed to other years?
I will read to you the comments that I sent to my news desk on Sunday morning when they asked me that very same question about whether Snead was headed in there. I'm looking for the exact comments. Basically, here we go.
Quoting Adam Schefter.
Yeah, well, I don't want to read the exact comments because they're actually rather Let's just say this.
What?
They haven't had any conversation.
Hold on. Hold the phone. We'll get back to that. What are the actual comments? You got F-bombs in there? Is Schefter just dropping F-bombs in the middle of these texts to the news desk?
Well, I'll say the exact thing was the two sides, quote unquote, haven't had any conversations.
Dust.
Colts and Chiefs.
Oh, boy.
Dust.
It's complete horseshit.
Is that real? So that was yesterday.
100%. Not happening. Now, could that change? Could that change? Sure.
Bomb.
But no, that's not happening, Pat. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well,
it doesn't sound like you're sorry.
Man.
Scroll through your phone. I want to break this guy's heart.
I'm deeply remorseful. Yeah. I'm deeply remorseful to deliver the news that disappoints you anytime. I never want to see you and all the boys there disappointed. I want you to be happy. Right?
Thank you, Schefter. We appreciate it. We want you to be happy, too. We hope you get a chance to enjoy life sometime away from your phone. But until then, we need you to continue to be on the inside information world of the NFL. Is Snead talking? Are the Chiefs talking anywhere else? Or is their conversation happening anywhere else? Or are we just assuming he's going to be a Chief next year? Just like Higgins is seemingly assuming he's going to be a Bengal next year under the franchise tag.
Yeah, I think there have been some conversations going on, but I know this. The Chiefs have no problems.
Other people are talking to him, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so Colts are not.
The Chiefs have no problems right now playing with him on that tag. He wants a long-term deal, so it's up to him and his agent to see if they could help broker a deal and structure something to get him the long-term security that he wants. But no, nothing right now has gotten done. The Colts are not expected to be in on him. The Colts and Chiefs have not discussed a deal for L'Jarius Snead, at least to date. Could that change? You never know. You never know. But nothing, no conversations between those two teams. And that's where we're at right now.
Last question about free agency, and it goes back to Justin Fields. They knew they were going to trade him for a long time, or this came together quick?
No, I think they were always open to moving him. I think that they knew that they were locked in on picking a quarterback at 1, and I think it was a question of finding the right spot for him at the right time. Again, nobody expected it to be Saturday for the price that it was, but it was going to happen at some point or another. It just so happened that it was Saturday. But yeah, they were going to trade him, and I believe they were intent on picking a quarterback at 1 all along. I think that was the plan. I think Justin Fields made that pretty clear. They made that pretty clear.
Yeah, he unfollowed him, but he still mess with some girls you don't follow on Instagram.
No big deal.
They show up on the Explore page. If the Bears got something that's supposed to be in Meowgie, it'll show up on my Explore page, is what Justin Fields said. Now all he's got is Brett Michaels waving that terrible towel. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. They're jacked up in Pittsburgh. Justin Fields should feel very good landing in the 4-1-2 area. Now let's say with the draft, shall we? Connor's got a question for you.
Yeah, Schefty, big news last week was the Vikings getting that other first-round pick from the Texans. Is it a easy assumption that they will be the team that's going to try and jump up into that, top 5, top 10 picks to get a quarterback? And who would be the team that is trading out? Is it the Commies? Is it the Patriots? Is it one of those teams at 5 or 6, like the Chargers or Giants? Or who are you eyeing for the Vikings to move up with?
Well, there's the board, the big board, as we look at it right there. And here's the thing. The Vikings are definitely interested in making more moves. They're sitting there right now with picks 11 and 23. And I think a lot of it depends on draft night. Like, I'm making this up, but say they love Jaden Daniels and say the Commanders go Drake May at 2 and Jaden Daniels gets to 3. Like, you wouldn't think that they're prepared to go to 3, but maybe the guy that they want slides to 3 and they make a bold play to go up and give up even more than they thought. You have to see how the board's unfolding. Do I think that they could trade up in advance of the draft? Sure, they're going to look for it. They have the ammunition to do it. The trade on Friday positions them to go make another move. Now, I think it's hard to do that in advance until you see how the board is falling and how the quarterbacks are coming off the board. But there's no doubt that the Minnesota Vikings are interested in a quarterback. There's no doubt that they are interested in trying to move up again. And again, the question becomes, when do they do it and for who? And that's what we're going to wait to see what happens with.
Hell yeah. Hey, that's what it's all about, Shefty. Who's doing what, where, and when?
That's right.
You know, and why? Why not even dive
Good
into
question.
the why of that entire thing? And that's why we have you join us. We appreciate you, Shefty. What news should we be looking out for? And what are you, draft night? Are you on ABC, ESPN? Where are you at?
Pat, I'm on wherever they tell me to be on, but I would expect that I'd be on ESPN in Detroit, and we'll see how that goes.
What is it? What is it?
Guys, have a great day. Love you.
All right, see you later.
Yeah, Shefty.
So now we will watch obviously watch his Twitter account, which, hold on, he's still on the screen.
He just said, what's going on?
He's trying to figure it out.
See, we're just trying to steal one there.
Yep.
Just want to let you guys know, behind the scenes, he was still on camera here, talking on phone.
Trying to read lips.
He wasn't able to figure out how to get out of the FaceTime, so we were going to try to read lips and figure out what that news was. Feels like something's coming, though. He
Yeah,
got
he's
like
like, hey,
6
what's up?
calls, and then he had to answer that last one. Something has to be cooking somewhere. Maybe it's Justin Simmons.
Could be.
Maybe it's Mike Williams.
Ooh.
Maybe it's a trade for the draft.
T. Higgins, perhaps.
Maybe T. Higgins on his way out. Maybe Snead's going anywhere but Indianapolis. What was that all about?
Yeah, what
Yes,
a bummer.
He didn't soften that one.
No, he said, I want to scroll through this. Oh, well, I can't because my first text says, we're listening to bloggers. That's probably what he said.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, I love Destin Adams. I've appreciated his coverage of the Indianapolis Colts for all the years that he's done it.
That's right.
And anybody that's invested in the Indianapolis Colts, I have a lot of love for.
Sure.
And when his tweets started going that he, had information, obviously it was not like this guy definitely knows, but it certainly was wait a minute.
Okay.
I like what I'm hearing here. So I'm going to go ahead and hope that this is accurate because it's going to carry a narrative that I would like to see happen.
Sure.
And then what does Schefter do? He just dumps on it.
So no chance.
Didn't he?
Yeah.
He went right into the porta john, sat down, dumped on it.
No
He said, they have not even had a convo.
It was liquid, too.
Yeah, it was messy.
It was a St. Patrick's Day dump.
Yeah, it was.
Like Tommy did at the Patron Saint.
Just like Tommy Dunn.
We saw a guy down at the Patron Saint on Saturday. Tommy Dumps. We saw a guy at Patron Saint on Saturday night when we were doing St. Patrick's Day. We did St. Patrick's Day this weekend.
Yes, we did.
Had to do it. Went to the Oakmont. Supposed to have dinner. Then I was going to Supercross.
Hard to get dinner.
Makes sense.
I was going to do dinner. Then I was going to Supercross. They were in town. Shout out to Supercross. Thank you for coming through Indianapolis.
Yep. Thank you.
They were very kind, very nice, very hospitable. They offered us up to go and have a good time. So the wife and I are going to do a little date night. Since we've got to go to Lucas Oil Stadium, we'll have dinner downtown. We stop by the Oakmont. We're going to get these quesadillas that they have that are just fantastic. We're going to have a night. Who'd I see? Oh, the downtown boys are there.
Of course.
Because they live there.
Shocker.
They just got done with the worst bartender they've ever had, they said. New bartender comes in, brand new. And we're having we literally just got in there. Vibes were through the roof.
Immaculate.
And it's like, oh, wait, it is St. Patrick's Day. We start boozing a little bit.
Bud.
1 espresso martini.
Wide.
2 espresso martinis.
Wide.
We're taking green tea shots.
Wide.
Wait a minute, another one?
Wide.
Well, my wife doesn't want to take that one. She dumps it into my cup. I'm taking a double green tea shot right now.
Wide.
Yeah. All of a sudden, the night became something much different than I thought.
Yeah.
No longer we going to Megacross. Seems like we're having a St. Patty's Day. So we want to go stop over at Patron Saint, which my wife's, what's the one that's the most important one in the wedding?
Maid of honor.
Yes.
There it is, owns. So we're like, yeah, we'll go stop by there. That place is a club.
No window.
Unbelievable.
No windows. It's in a basement. There's a VIP section that Gumpy found himself in a few different times.
VIP.
Gumpy was in this VIP
Massive.
we're talking
Get down from there!
full on, having the time of his life. I think Connor found his way into the VIP a few times. There's this guy named Algie that was running security. He got boozed up. He was in there.
Sure.
I mean, there was an entire situation, but the bathroom, it's one of those bathrooms where there's like a trough, and then there is a stall, but there's no door on the stall.
No door.
You're not doing cocaine in here.
No,
Pretty much is what that says to me.
Just a toilet.
That's what that says to me in
Like
there.
a Pittsburgh toilet.
Bingo. Just a toilet sitting there. So we walk in, St. Patrick's Day, a lot of bladders being active, and there's a guy full on dumping in there. I mean, pants down around ankles.
Yep.
Just staring.
Oh, yeah.
Staring at everybody walking in. I've never as soon as I turn the corner and I just make eye contact with this guy taking a dump. He's got his hand out. He goes, no way, Pat McAfee's in here right now.
Watching me dump.
Sometimes you gotta go.
Two-hand cupping his nuts. I mean, it was an entire.
Oh my God, Pat McAfee's in here watching me
That's
dump.
not his fault. That's the place's fault.
I agree. I don't think if you're going to dump, I don't know if that's necessarily a place you should find yourself. There is an upstairs that has a full-on
I didn't know that.
bathroom upstairs.
Single stall, walk on the door.
Whole thing.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Upstairs.
So we had to have full conversation because the moxie of this fellow, we were nothing short of impressed with. So his name was Tommy. He had a great personality. He did wash his hands. I don't know how many wipes because we didn't want to check it out the entire thing. And he said, "Oh my, nobody's going to believe that this. Nobody's going to believe that you guys are in here when I'm going." And I want to say, nobody's going to believe that you took a dump in here.
Yeah. No way.
So we're in. So we met Tommy Dumps, took a photo with him, and he had a tattoo on his thigh.
Oh, nice.
Certainly a bet.
Saw the whole thing.
Saw the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
Congrats to him. But we had a St. Patty's. We certainly did.
Yeah, to be fair to Tommy Dumps, too, he wasn't just dropping a little steam. He dropped a boatload of steam because when I went in after him, boy, oh boy, that toilet was painted and it
Wait, was there eye contact?
Yeah, as soon as we walked in, he was greeting everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the bathroom. You know, just like
Really, all
that.
you do.
I've never seen the confidence on a guy. I mean, just absolute confidence. Just be able
I will
to do
say,
that.
Best Man at My Wedding has done 2 public dumps like that before.
Well, congrats to him.
Yeah.
Him and Tommy Dumps need to get together to see who's got more moxie.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be Tommy Dumps. He got up and he had a couple. They had,
chains.
Yeah, they were doing bar crawls. I think he was a part of 2 of them.
Okay.
He had 2 different,
Good for Tommy.
which I don't even know how you.
Respect.
And word on the street is, too, he pooped on like 3 of the bars that they are.
That was actually, it was a poop crawl.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
That's actually what he was doing.
He was dubbed the poop master.
He was dumping in every spot.
Take
judging
some
it.
X-Lax with each shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, we
Duke
hope
dump.
everybody had a great St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, yeah.
And I hope everybody got a chance to watch that golf.
Oh,
Great.
awesome.
Hey, PGA had a hell of a Sunday. Now, I assume all week it was, but Sunday got a chance to catch up. Scotty Schefter's a dog.
My God.
He was down 5 going into the final day. Xander Schauffele had the lead. I believe there was a Harmon sighting late.
There was.
And I like the fact that the TV people started catching him mid-wiggle. So at the beginning of his run, they were showing him before his entire, he even stepped off one, did the entire thing. It was later in the day, whenever he was like on 13, 14, 15, as he was doing, they would cut to him after he had already done all of his stuff. So then he's shooting, and he's self-admittedly like, yeah, slow.
It's a problem.
It's a problem. I'm going to have to get through it. That's on me. I couldn't even imagine what he's saying to himself every
so
single
things.
shot. So the fact that he does well is certainly a miracle of some. But Scotty Scheffler is in a form right now with that beard that it's like, yo, this is a guy. Scotty Scheffler is a guy. Liv needs to get Scotty Scheffler.
Call him.
Liv needs to get Scotty Scheffler because he is carrying PGA. He couldn't putt for so long, and he was still like top 5, and the guy sucked at putting. Yesterday, he put one from like 80 feet to like an inch whenever he had a big breaking cut on 17 and everything. So it was fun to watch. Thank you to golf for having a great Sunday.
Fantastic.
Genuinely appreciate it. And shout out to Wyndham Clark, who had, a heartbreak of a moment on 18. Puts the ball close. All you need is a bird, pal. Catch up to Scotty Scheffler. You're at 19 under. Scotty's at 20 under. Oh, you rolled it. It's in. It's in. It's done. Let's
go.
We're going to extra holes.
Oh, man.
Brutal.
Heartbreak.
Yep.
Heartbreak.
Heartbreak.
It was Happy Gilmore with that clown at putt-putt.
Yep.
Truly.
Where he finally makes it up that dumb clown's mouth and tongue, rolls all the way in there, and the clown goes, nope. That was to go to extra holes to win a tournament. And with the way he had been playing, I think he birdied the last 3 holes or would have birdied the last 3 holes. He was hot. Scotty Scheffler already done because he was 5 down, remember? So he finished a little bit earlier. He was on the putting range. He was putting a little bit over there. So a hot Wyndham Clark was going to get a chance to go to extra holes with Scotty Scheffler to win the Players in front of a very good crowd down there in Jacksonville at TPC Sawgrass. And instead the hole said, nah, I don't think so, pal. This dude's got a beard. He's number 1 in the world for 78 weeks now. Tiger did 683 weeks at one.
Just Scotty,
Consecutive.
11 more years.
11 more years, Scotty. Golf was good yesterday, though.
Fantastic.
PGA golf was good.
It's starting to heat up because it's actually starting to get the actual golf season. Like with the Arnie last week, it was Scotty and Wyndham Clark 1-2, and then with the Players this week, it was Scotty and Wyndham 1-2, and Xander being up there, and Fitzpatrick was up there, and Harmon was up there. It was a really good leaderboard this last 2 weekends. So hopefully this continues. It just in the back of your head, you're always saying, I wish those other guys on the other tour were playing in this too, because then it would be even better.
Live, I tried to watch.
Yep.
Yeah.
They played this weekend? They were on this weekend?
I didn't try this weekend.
Oh, okay.
I had St. Patty's on Saturday.
Sure.
What the PGA did on Sunday, right into selection Sunday.
Oh, I know.
Incredible.
It was like perfect timing.
Yeah.
Perfect timing. Thank you for that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Tremendous.
Great
Sports
setup.
Club. Getting to hang with the baby girl wife and I both like, damn, nursing our hangovers, drinking water, little Pedialyte hanging out. Yeah. Golf's on in the background. Put the baby girl down to nap. Oh, who's passing out? Oh, I think we're all napping, aren't we? I'm napping in this entire thing. It was a perfect Sunday. Right into Selection Sunday, where we got to learn about the bracket. Now, have we followed the college basketball world closely enough to be the ones that give you the opinions on how you should be picking your bracket? Absolutely not.
No.
But we'll have Reese Davis in the next hour for the men's bracket.
Perfect. Boom.
So everything he says, we hold it as truth. And if he gets it wrong, we yell at him. We'll also have Elle Duncan on
Nice.
in the next hour to break down the women's college basketball bracket because she hosts College Game Day alongside Reese hosting College Game Day. So we'll have a chance to talk to both hosts of the show that has followed the college basketball season all year. But for those that missed the bracket talk, Tone Diggs has something for you. I think it's time that we be doing the news, doing the news, doing the news, doing the news with Tone Diggs. Tone, give us some bracket news.
Let's do the news, NCAA tournament version, and let's start first and foremost with the snubs. And let's not go very far, Pat. Let's stay right here in this great state of Indiana with Indiana State, who was 28-6 this regular season, okay? And let me talk to you about their net ranking, okay?
Which means?
NET ranking.
Yep.
Bingo.
Oh, I've seen it a lot.
Yeah. They were 29th, okay? Why is that? Why is that important? No team, okay? No team in the history of the NCAA who's been in the top 30 of net ranking has ever missed the tournament.
What?
And sure, people are like, who cares about Indiana State? I'm sorry. Have you seen Robbie Bob Avila? Okay.
You're talking about, I don't think that's his name. You just said a couple different names there. I think
it's Robbie Avila, but I like to sneak the Bob in there.
Yeah, just in case it is also Bobby. You're talking about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
Yes, I am.
You're talking about the big white hope?
Yeah.
You're talking about, oh my God, is that a thicker version of Larry Bird?
Yes.
Is that Larry Crow
Rob,
instead of Larry Bird?
Rob.
Yeah, we don't get to see this dude cook in the dance, and their team earned it this year. Now, don't get it twisted. This Ball State team he's playing against right here, studs.
Go basketball.
So good at basketball. They're smacking the floor.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about when we're talking about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He's a passing machine.
Oh, yeah.
He's like the Joker. He's not scared to do a little no-look pass behind the back, lay up how we do and shoot. He has this Indiana State team back to being as relevant as they were when Larry freaking Bird was playing for him.
Yep.
This state was buzzing. Indiana men's basketball team. Did they make it in?
Oh, I don't think so.
No, they didn't. Everybody's riding behind the sycamores, the trees over there in Terre Haute, Indiana. Now, Purdue, they lost in the Big Ten championship, which some people said was going to happen.
Again.
But they're a 2 seed, I think, in this entire thing.
They got a 1.
They got a nice path.
They
too.
do. They do. A very easy path.
Which they're going to make it. And Indiana State should have been able to meet them there at the national championship. But instead, a group of people that are in Carmel, Indiana, okay, about an hour and a half away from where this school is, said, we don't want this fat, slow Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the dance.
Shame.
We're done with that. We're mad about it. We're sick about it. And we don't like it. But snubs are the story the day after the brackets are released every year. This year, it just so happens to be with one of the most electrifying basketball players that has ever stepped foot on a court. Go ahead, Tone. Sorry we interrupted.
Yeah, Indiana State was one of the teams that was snubbed. There was an entire conference that kind of should feel not so good today and about being snubbed, and that's the Big East, okay? Now, is it the same teams as the Glory Days Big East? It is not, okay? But the Big East is still a very respectable conference. They have the 1 seed in the UConn and the defending national champion. And it's a very good conference, but they only got 3 teams in, and 3 of the teams that were left out that probably should have been in were Providence, Seton Hall, and then the Johnnies, okay?
Yeah, come on.
Those are 3 teams that people said definitely should have been in. So that was, as a conference, the Big East, you know.
They're still playing in Madison Square Garden?
The tournament?
Yeah. Okay. So still worthy of playing.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Madison Square
100%.
Garden.
So
They got the national champion. We don't like the Big East all of a sudden.
Rick Pitino.
Golly. I'm so mad about these teams not making it. You said the Johnny should have made it?
Johnny,
Yes.
You don't leave Pitino out of this.
No.
one.
Well, how about
way.
the University of Pittsburgh?
So a lot of people, Pitt got left out after they made a decent run in the ACC tournament, had a really good regular season. But people are saying their non-con, okay? Their non-conference schedule was about as cupcake as it gets, like 334 in the nation or something like that. And they said the committee, this was basically slapping them on the wrist for that, saying, hey, we need better basketball earlier in the season. But
sorry about it, Pitt. Yeah. Kenny Pickett traded out of town. Basketball team can't make it.
Tough week. No.
Sorry about it. Dan Marino's still killing it, though.
Let's talk about some of the teams that got in, though, okay?
Okay.
So one of those teams from the ACC. This team was plus 10,000, 100 to 1 to win the ACC tournament. NC State won 5 games in 5 days to win the ACC tournament and get in. Was one of the huge stories this weekend. Another huge story this weekend, a great story. Long Beach State, okay?
Hell yeah.
Monday of last week, 1 week ago, 7 days ago, fired their coach.
See ya.
But they said, hey, you can still coach the tournament.
Because we won't be able to find somebody in 3 days.
Guess what they did? They won that tournament. Now they are going to the tournament. They are in the bracket, and that coach, he's not even an employee there anymore. They already fired him. So it's a weird situation, but quite an interesting one.
Yeah. Haven't been in 17 years, so it's a huge day for Long Beach.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that coach is just going right into free agency here, taking a team that has not been into the dance in 17 years into the dance. Good for him. Thanks for doing me a favor, Long Beach State.
Yeah.
And I like the way the boys rallied around their coach.
Sorry.
Hey, you don't think he's a good coach? Oh, watch us do something in the Big West that hasn't happened here in 17 years.
Another coach we are celebrating today is Keith Danbrot, who actually retired this afternoon. So it's going to be a win-one for the Gipper situation. For what school? Oh, I don't know. Duquesne University, okay? Right there in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Sorry, Pitt, didn't get in. Doesn't matter. Your team's already in the tournament. Yeah, Coach Keith Danbrot. LeBron's high school coach at St. Vincent St. Mary.
Oh, yeah, we've been talking about this all year.
A lot of people are saying he might be retiring to coach the Lakers for the playoff run. I'm not sure.
Like that.
But it's a situation. First time Duquesne's been in the tournament since 1977. So quite an awesome situation. It's a great day to be a Duke.
Hey, great day to be a Duke.
Congrats, Tony.
That's Coach Danbrot right there. Thank you for your service, Coach Danbrot. And as soon as I seen that LeBron tweet about Duquesne, I sent it right over to Tone. I'm like, we like LeBron endorsing stuff now. We like Russell Wilson now. We like Justin Fields now. Okay, Pittsburgh is all of a sudden like pop icons.
Changing.
Pittsburgh is the topic of pop culture. This is what we're talking about. Braun's got the Dukes back. I think you're going to need them, though, if you want to get through that bracket you guys are in.
Well, no, I mean, listen, we got BYU, and then we're going to cruise.
They're 30 and mature and have a family.
It's all right. But the bracket of death is the East region, who has UConn as the 1 seed, who won the Big East.
Yep.
Iowa State, the 2 seed, who won the Big 12. Illinois, the 3 seed, who won the Big 10. And Auburn, the 4 seed, who won the SEC. The East is the region of death this year. Okay, that's what people were saying.
A lot of champions, and we talked about this earlier today. When they're making these brackets, are they matchmaking too? Because they know TV exists. And how do you not do that? Like, how do you look at a team and you don't go, we could put them at an 8, right? So that they potentially run into this person. We could feasibly explain our way out of them being a 4 seed, so we can get this matchup in two rounds if we get it. That's got to be a tough job. Like me yelling about Indiana State not being in there, I watched 0 of their games.
Sure.
I have no idea.
Sure.
I can imagine putting this entire thing together is very difficult, but there's some big-time games in the men's, also in the women's. Somehow Iowa in LSU, the national championship game last year, which we thought they were going to keep LSU in one, SC in another, Iowa in another.
Yep.
And I don't know, is Virginia Tech or
They're
who's?
a 4.
So I don't know who the other school is, but you would have thought they would have kept them away from each other. Instead, we got an Elite 8 potential matchup between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark on the women's side. We got a lot of good potential matchups cooking, but in the end, you're only going to get a couple of the seemingly big names towards it. So shout to them just looking for competitive.
Albany,
of course.
Albany, too, is a tough region.
Very tough.
Yeah, you're damn right.
Albany 1's kind of weird.
We'll be celebrating Friday live from the University of Iowa. You can come watch us at the Fieldhouse, not the bar.
No.
The old rec center. Hour 2 will be on the other side. We got Reese Davis, Elle Duncan. More news happening around the NFL and the sports world. Like, what the hell's going on in soccer? Oh, roundhouse kick. We'll see you in 3. As now is a man who will be compared to forever whenever they're talking about GOAT conversations in the sport of football. That's because he won 7 Super Bowls, was consistently dominant for more than 2 decades at football. Ridiculously handsome. So absurdly handsome. An underdog story, too, picked at 199 of the NFL draft. Not a top 5 pick, not handed anything. And then what did he do? He went to work, did his job, became the greatest of all time, and now a phenomenal businessman and a great representation of the greatest league on earth. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Brady. Hell yeah,
What's
dude.
up, my man?
Tom, I thought this was all potential gimmick rip. I didn't know if you were actually on the show. I'm so pumped you were here. Hey, we love you, dude. We love you, Tom.
I appreciate it.
When you're 40 years old and you've won 6 Super Bowls and you're already being called the GOAT, was there anything to you getting to the point of just being, I'm tired of Bill Belichick talking to me like I'm a 23-year-old? Because that was kind of the lingering at the end of your time at New England.
There was so much people just trying to create some division that most of it was untrue, but it's just the way the world works. And naturally, I think division from within is a big problem in these team environments. And I don't like seeing any dysfunction in team environments. Obviously, my respect for Coach Belichick is pretty well documented. He was an incredible leader and coach for our team. And I tried to do my best every single day that I took the field. I knew that he did the same thing. And I think that's why I respected his coaching so much.
But whenever they talk about the Patriot way, that is normally the reason that is given is like the Patriot way, the Patriot way, the Patriot way.
I've never used that term in my entire life. I think when people say it, I'm always like, what's the Patriot way? It sounds like the title of a book. I think what we tried to do was we tried to do things the right way. I think we tried to practice the right way and prepare the right way. What happened on game day was ultimately a reflection of what we practiced. And I thought we had great leadership from our coaches, and it filtered down to the guys who really drove the culture. We had so many guys that I played with over the course of a lot of years that really understood that, okay, I'm going to care about my teammates and I'm going to care about helping the team win.
There's a guy on our show who is diehard Patriot fan. Boston Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Tommy, I have to.
What's up, Boston?
I have to start and just say thank you. You know, my whole life has been incredible because of the fact that you have won 6 Super Bowls. And, you know, I'm a loser every day, but I'm a winner as a football fan because of you and what the Patriots were able to do. So thank you. What do you think the new era of New England with Mayo is going to be?
Him coming back into coaching, I think is great for the NFL and certainly great for the Patriots. He's got a great understanding of how things need to be done. I think Gerard does an incredible job relating to everybody in the locker room, all the coaches, and I think he'll do a great job.
Going into the booth, are you utilizing the same thing, hearing what people are saying about you going in there? And how do you balance that while still being a human?
The broadcast going to be 5 years from now is going to be hopefully more improved than the one that starts on day one. So I'm going to go in there with the opportunity to start and learn, and I'm sure by the end of the year I'll feel more comfortable. I really want to be a great ambassador for the NFL and the game. I love the sport. I love the athletes. I love the organizations, and I really appreciate how
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey, what? Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers,
You pig! Damn it!
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Sport!
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this March Madness Monday, March 18th, 2024. Hour 2 of the program starts now.
Sports!
Are fantastic. And we'll be talking about the sport of basketball a good bit here in about 15 to 20 minutes as Elle Duncan and Reese Davis join us to break down what's going on in brackets. As we all try to figure out who the hell we're going to take to win the entire damn thing in both the men's and the women's March Madness tournaments this year, because there's like $1 billion on the line. We get it perfect.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
I don't know who it is. Maybe it's Bill Gates. Maybe it's somebody else.
Buffett.
Warren Buffett offering up $1 billion for a perfect bracket. That's going to come from our conversations with Elle and with Reese in a matter of moments. The Talks the Tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Whenever the Hammer, Dahn, Cowboys, and Pride, Duquesne Duke.
Pride.
Ton Diggs is here.
Watch that whole game yesterday.
I see you got a Russell Wilson Bears card there in front of you.
Justin Fields Bears card.
Oh, sorry. Justin Fields. That's on me.
I knew what you meant.
New quarterback for the
That
Pittsburgh
was gifted
Steelers.
to me from Zito to me, passing of the torch, if you will.
Good get.
Yeah.
I said, this organization will do him right, unlike yours.
Yeah, and just like you guys treated Kenny Pickett, I'm sure, there's probably a similar feeling.
Oh, you sound like one of those Kenny crybabies.
What are you talking about?
Justin Fields is fine with competition.
He asked for it.
Bingo.
Chose Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't Kenny Pickett going to be behind Jalen Hurts, though?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's cool with the competition there?
Well,
that kind of debunks everything you guys are saying.
No, I don't know. There's no. There's no competition.
There's no competition in Pittsburgh either, right? Because Russell Wilson's the guy.
I think he maybe respects Jalen Hurts more than Russ, is what it sounds like.
Oh.
Kenny Pickett did seemingly go through some stuff.
He did. Listen,
he was the Prince of Pittsburgh.
It was a short time he was there as a Steeler.
Yeah.
Long time he was there as a University of Pittsburgh Panther. And he also liked this tweet from Tom Pelissero. So we're assuming this is his view on things. How did this go sideways, Tom Pelissero said. Mike Tomlin had promised Kenny Pickett he'd get a chance to compete. Pickett learned about the Russell Wilson signing on social media Sunday night.
Whoa.
When they spoke the next morning, Tomlin told Pickett that Wilson was in pole position and would get the first reps. So Pickett asked for a trade. Now he's an Eagle.
Okay.
Kenny Pickett liked it. He put that on his thing, 7-3-2, nice South Jersey, over to the 4-1-2. Now he's in Philadelphia as a Philadelphia Eagle, a team that he was a fan of growing up. Needs to put the plane back to 7-3-2 in his ex-bio there up top of it. But I think this explains the whole situation. He was told, yeah, you're not the starter. Russell Wilson, a guy that we just signed for $1.2 million last night without telling you about, will be the starter in pole position. For those that don't know, in racing, the pole position is what you're doing time trials for the days before the race to find out who starts where. Pole position, you want to be on the pole. You want to be on top of the pole.
That's right. Always.
You want to be riding the top of the pole in the racing world. Russell Wilson is riding the top of the pole as the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback.
Bingo.
That's what he told Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett says, bullshit.
Yeah.
This is bullshit.
I'm out.
What are we talking about? You guys have me playing under Matt Canada's offense.
Yeah.
The guy ran jet sweep every other play. I mean, we didn't even have an
Wasn't
offense.
exactly set up for success.
Then you guys get a new offense coordinator. I have success. I get hurt. Mason Rudolph has success. All of a sudden, he's the hero.
He's the guy?
I get back. Oh, yeah, I don't even get an opportunity to play. They asked me, hey, did you learn anything from sitting out watching Mason? No. You know what I learned is I got hurt at the wrong time. I've been playing with that doofus Matt Canada who didn't even know offense. So going into this season, had a full offseason with Artie Smith, the man who has had good enough offense to be hired as a head coach at one point his entire NFL career. And now Kenny Pickett said, Russell Wilson, a guy who played for the Denver Broncos last year, is starting over me. Get me out of here. And you guys are all nitpicking about it.
Absolutely.
Cheering about it.
You guys called him Kenny Crybaby.
Yeah, you want him out.
Nick did, not me.
No, I just called the Marks Kenny Crybabies. There's no doubt about it. The Steelers did not do Kenny right in a lot of situations.
Kenny got screwed.
Did not even mention he had one of the worst O-lines in his couple years there too. And they've
everybody get off Kenny's ass.
And they've really fixed that too. So the next quarterbacks come in, they're going to have a better O-line, a better offense coordinator, a whole better situation. And do I feel bad about Kenny's situation? Sure, but did he handle it correctly at the end? Doesn't sound like it. Okay, sounded like he.
In whose eyes? In Steelers fans' eyes?
Well, yeah.
What about Tomlin?
Every day's a competition, Kenny Pickett. This ain't the Pitt Panthers. This is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Listen, yeah, maybe Coach Tomlin did tell him some things, but things change, okay? When you get Russ Wilson, okay, that guy's a starter. Did you see his new haircut? Did you see his evil villain age?
He's got Pittsburgh fate.
This is sweet.
Yeah. This is his Pittsburgh age.
High and tight.
His Pittsburgh era.
Eras tour.
Yeah.
Coming to a city near you.
Here we go.
Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was.
Russ actually
This is Sierra's town
coaching
now,
up
though.
Little Future in a Pittsburgh Pirates baseball uniform.
That's right.
Wearing Pittsburgh Steelers gear already.
The guy gets it.
And we had heard that he was asked to be shipped his jersey before getting to town because he wanted to do the new Threads video where he could play Wiz Khalifa's Black and Yellow. He is very thankful and excited to be in Pittsburgh. Sounded like Kenny Pickett no longer wanted to be there because of everything that took place. Fresh new beginning for both sides, including Justin Fields coming to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Congrats to all of them.
It's going to be awesome.
Now, everybody thinks during draft season that, hey, that guy threw a pretty spiral at the combine. He's going to be the next Joe Burrow.
Of course.
Oh, C.J. Stroud, there's 6 of them in this draft.
That's right.
Tom Brady, look at this guy out of Kennesaw State. This is the next Tom Brady. Everybody thinks if you're drafting a quarterback in the first round, they're going to turn it all around. Let's not even go to the quarterback position just yet. Let's talk about all positions. People are hitting less than 50% whenever they're drafting people. Now, we throw around the word bust only for the big ones. The big names, the big money, the big personalities, and the big failures. But guys not getting re-signed to their teams would ultimately be considered a bust. Hey, did not work out even though they invested a first-round draft pick on it. But we're part of the problem. We understand it. We have Draft Spectacular. We're having another one this year. It's going to be our biggest and best yet.
Huge.
We're on location. Going to be the big. We're trying to land a jumbo jet right now. Okay, a jumbo jet is trying to be landed for our Draft Spectacular, which has seemingly been our biggest show every single year. We're going to be on location in Detroit, and what we have in store potentially is bigger than ever, but we're part of the problem. When somebody gets drafted, everybody in the media, everybody from that person's school, everybody from the new team has to be like, yeah, this guy's going to get us over the hump. This guy's going to win us a game. Has this guy played against adults? Has this guy played against 300-pounders that run 4.5s? Has this guy played against every generation before him, superstar, all-star players that only the great ones survive? Has this guy played on a team that only has 3 roster spots open for younger guys because the generation before him, all of their studs are on this particular team? We have no idea if any of these dudes are going to amount to shit. What are they going to be like with money in their pocket? What are they going to be like with free time? What are they going to be like with sophisticated defenses and offenses, game planning specifically for them? Well, if we go back in recent short history, shout out to Ari Mirov, who's an information aggregator for the 33rd team, who we are a massive fan of. I think he was in the real estate business before he decided to not sleep at all and just collect all information at My Sports Update. He laid it all out there for us in a beautiful fashion. The top quarterbacks drafted in 2021 and 2022, where are they now? 2022 NFL draft, let's start there. That's only 2 years ago. Kenny Pickett, gone. Desmond Ridder, gone. Malik Willis, back up, but probably... Matt Corral, he's in the UFL. Remember, out of Ole Miss, he's going to be the guy. He's got tattoos. He beat up Wayne Gretzky's kid.
That private school.
He's like a blue-collar guy. This dude's got moxie. He's in a different league now. Bailey Zappi, previously cut. Now he's a backup, talking to people as if he's a starter. Sam Howell, he's already been traded. 2021 draft. How about Zach Wilson? Going to be traded. Trey Lance, traded. Justin Fields, traded. Mac Jones, traded. Trevor Lawrence is the only dude that you would say worked that. And I assume there's some Jags fans that are like, has it? I mean, there'd even be that case. So what we make the draft to be and what we make these college guys to be, what we assumed Kenny Pickett could potentially become, isn't necessarily going to be the case, because the generations that we've been watching that have been laying the foundation of the NFL are really good. Really, really good players. It's not easy just to get dropped in and be a superstar unless you're like C.J. Stroud, Joey B, many others that have been able to have success since the very beginning. So we gotta cool the jets on all these dudes going into the draft night.
And now that 2021, now Kenny was the only first rounder in that 2022, but that 2021, all 5 of those guys were first round draft picks too, and that's what they're expecting is going to go this year, 5 or 6. So like, I hope that's not how it's going to turn out for this year's 5 or 6.
Well, you're also hoping that Justin Fields is going to be really good.
Well, yeah.
He just wasn't right situation.
Sure.
Which is a big part of it, which leads to RG3 saying, like, Caleb needs to say that Chicago's not the right place to take care of me and command and demand that they don't draft him or that he goes somewhere else. It's like, there's a lot of those teams that are picking at the top of the draft that aren't necessarily the most desirable positions. That's why they're picking at the top of the draft, which is where more money is, too. So, like, people forget... Number 1 overall pick, number 2 overall pick. Terrible situations normally. This year, better than most because it's not their number 1 overall pick. It's actually the Panthers' number 1 overall pick. So the Panthers, much worse team than them. Commanders, much worse team than them. Patriots, much worse team than them last year. Cardinals, much worse team than them last year. So it's like this is actually a pretty good setup. But normally where all the high money is and high profile is up here, vastly different than what the signing is over there for 30, 31, 32, and next year's deal. Those are good situations over there. That's why they're picking down there. These ones are going to suck. That's why they're there. Unless somebody trades up into it. So it's like, is Caleb Williams enough to come in there with a revamped defense, with weapons on offense, brand new running back, offensive line? Is he able to do his job well enough that the Chicago Bears maybe become relevant in the NFC North? There's a chance with Eberflus's culture hitting and Big Poles doing his thing. There's a chance it's perfect. But history tells us this ain't going to work out. for all these teams.
No chance.
There is going to be doom, gloom, failure, misery, and a lot of conversations about what if something else would have taken place. And I'm not saying it's always the player's fault. Normally it is organizational, but it's not just one organization that ruins things.
No.
It's a lot of organizations that ruin things because they just can't get it right. It's not easy to do.
Well, and Dano said it last week, and I think a lot of people have kind of been saying it more, but it does kind of lend credence when you see the Ari Mirov tweet. Like, there's a good chance that a lot of these guys, like, they would benefit greatly from sitting behind someone for a year or two. Like, I have been thinking a lot lately about, like, if Jordan Love started the year he got drafted by the Packers, like, there's no way he would still be a Packer. Like, a lot of these guys, obviously, if you get drafted at, like, 1 or 2 or whatever, like, there's a good chance you're going to play right away. But the way college football has changed, like, a lot of these guys just aren't ready to come in and play in the NFL right away. Like, it just, but anymore, like, these teams, there is no patience. So, like, you're not going to see teams draft a guy and then give them the benefit of the doubt, like Jordan Love, where he can sit 4 years and then it's like, oh, this is a different guy than when you drafted him.
You just go through the GOATs real quick in your head of recent history. Who are they? Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Rodgers.
Sat. Aaron Rodgers. Sat.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes.
Sat.
It's like you just go through in your head. Who's the GOAT right now?
Yeah.
It's like these guys all sat. They were not thrown into the fire as quickly as
Peyton took
possible.
his lumps, but they knew, like.
Yeah, Peyton.
Yeah, exactly.
Peyton threw the most picks in the history of
3-13.
rookie
Like,
quarterbacks.
It takes a lot of time. I mean, after the 2021 season, hey, Mac Jones, like, he's going to be great for the next 15 years in New England. Like, it varies. And Joe Burrow.
I saw him loving life down in Jacksonville.
Oh, yeah, he's back
Did you
home.
see him at that press conference?
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Laughed the whole time.
He did.
The whole entire press conference, Mac Jones, beaming ear to ear.
Yeah.
He loving life down there.
I mean, yeah, his mom's picking him up from the facility. He's back home. He's with his friends.
Well,
Also,
not only that, we got a chance. Me and Mad Mel got a chance to feel Doug Peterson's aura.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
You walk into that suite, Doug Peterson is like, damn, this is a cool
Southampton.
This guy's cool right here. Mac Jones is feeling that.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you leave an organization cordially and amicably, usually vibes are very, very high like they were for Mac. But you mentioned Joe Burrow. Like, Joe Burrow right away, they went 4-12. Like, he had to blow his knee out and get murdered behind a bad offensive line for an entire year because he was the number 1 overall pick and going to such a terrible situation. And even Trevor Lawrence, like, no one after his rookie year was putting that on him because Urban Meyer finger guns was doing his thing. But, like, so many of these guys, it takes time. And then even when you hit on the guy, like, Justin Herbert's been great from day one. And the Chargers haven't won shit.
He sat, by the way.
Yeah.
Until a golf tee was put into the lung of Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah. And you talk about, like, when you were talking about the quarterbacks up there.
We're
Like,
just matter of fact.
and the draft order. And it's not even like organization, because you could go to a good. I think people would say the Steelers and Patriots are good organizations. Okay, but the situation was shit. So you could go to a good organization, but with Kenny and Mac, the situation was shit because whether it was the O-line or the offensive coordinators or the weapons or whatever, like, it has to be the correct situation, not even the great organization. The situation has to be good.
So Kenny's talking right now in Philadelphia at his press conference, I believe. He spoke a little bit about how it ended. I'm only reading the tweets. We have a video that's like 27 seconds long. I assume that'll give it a little bit more context. Context big right now on the internet. That's cool. I'm happy the bloodbath situation's taking place so that maybe we can continue, to be like, what's the context of what the person's saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because as people that have been, thrown right into the fire without any context, I'm happy that there's a little bit more of a, wait a minute, should we maybe hear how that was said or what that was said about? This is a good thing. Shout out to X doing that.
Yeah,
keep that going.
Yeah, let's keep that rolling. That was wild.
Needed.
I was like, as I was watching it all unfold on my algae, I'm like, somebody thank you finally addressing this, because I think everybody does. And it's not to blame the people that read the things that are out of context for feeling the way you feel, because what you are being told is certainly something that should make you feel that way. But what a lot of us are saying is that person's trying to make you feel that way by saying that. They're trying to make us look like assholes. That is not the context of the entire clip. So I'm happy that we're potentially entering a time where we are going to try to gather context around things. That's good for society.
Yeah, it is.
Which is exactly what we're trying to do right now. Kenny Pickett addressed being a Philadelphia Eagle, leaving the Pittsburgh Steelers after being a first rounder just 2 years ago.
I just thought it was time. It just felt like it was time from the things that transpired, and wanted to get a chance to go somewhere else and continue to grow my career. And the fact that it's in Philly, the place that I grew up, finding love for the game here with a great coaching staff, great players. I'm looking forward to meet all these guys in a couple of weeks when everyone gets back into town. But I think it's an awesome opportunity here to join this team.
He handled it right. It was time. He handled it right. It was time.
It was time.
All right. Happy the Jersey boys back in Philly.
Baby Kenny.
We wish nothing but the best for Kenny.
I've enjoyed Kenny Pickett. I got a chance to chat with him a couple times. We're not in Pittsburgh, so we don't get to feel it. I'm not necessarily a Steelers fan anymore because I could have been throughout my entire life, but the Colts paid me not to be, so I'm a Colts fan because Jim Irsay invested in me and took a shot on me.
Super fair.
Which I appreciate. Steelers could have. They didn't.
All right.
Should hold that against him a little bit more.
No,
new front office.
Coach T said he would.
Yeah, Coach T said he'd bring me back whenever I'm cheap and old, which I don't know if that's a shot or not. It's not.
Strategy, if anything.
Yeah, I appreciate where his head's at. We love the Steelers, got nothing but love for him. But boy, a lot of Pittsburgh Steelers fans also feeling the same way Kenny's feeling about it. It's time to move on. Let's do that with Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. Let's move on away from the NFL and let's go to what everybody's chit-chatting about on this particular day. Around water coolers, at the office, in the cafeteria, in the cubicle, depending on what are you doing with the brackets? Huh? Who's going to win $1 billion this year?
Me.
Who's going to have? Are you?
Dibs. Yep, dibs. Me.
Okay.
All right. I'll share it with you
I'm
guys.
happy to hear that. Well, I have a better opportunity to do that after we chit-chat with the next person and the person after that. Ladies and gentlemen, a person who is the host of the College Game Day Women's Show. A lady who has been at ESPN since 2016. Friend of the program. Ladies and gentlemen, SportsCenter host, Elle Duncan. Elle, let's go.
I just have to say, Pat, there's some seminal moments in your life, right? When you get your first job, when you meet the person you're going to marry, when you have your children. And for me, getting to finally pop my McAfee cherry. Let's go.
Okay, all right. Okay, listen, the way you said that is certainly something that somebody's going to say something about. But we appreciate you coming on here, and we love everything about it. You are going to inform us on stuff that we don't know about, but we want to. Okay, this is a big time for college basketball, the women's and the men's. The women, we're going on Friday to the University of Iowa to celebrate, March Madness kicking off over there. We can't wait to do that. We know Iowa's good. We know South Carolina's undefeated. We know LSU is going to be good. Last year was Virginia Tech. I think there was a Miami story. Is it all the same teams? What do we need to know going into this entire thing, Elle?
What you need to know, Pat McAfee, is that, yes, this is the absolute worst nightmare for some of the offices because we look at censors with wildless abandon. I will also say when it comes to the women's side, it's not like the men. Like, don't get cute. Don't pick Cinderella teams. We've never, ever, ever had lower than a 3 seed ever win the national championship. In fact, 10 out of the 11 national champions on the women's side have been 1 seeds. LSU, the exception last year, they were a 3 seed. So Miami is out after their improbable run with the Cavender twins. As you also know, the Instagram influencers, they're out. They are not even in the tournament after an Elite 8 run just last year. Iowa's still in there. Iowa has the toughest pad. I got to tell you, they showed Iowa no love, you guys, because Iowa is technically the second number 1 seed behind South Carolina, who has the easiest path when you look at their bracket. Iowa would potentially have to face Colorado, who are some absolute dogs, and at one point in the season were ranked 3rd. Then they would potentially have to face a Kansas State team, who, by the way, they've already faced twice, and they split. And then they would, for an Elite 8 matchup, either have to play LSU, the team they had to play in the Natty last year, or UCLA, who as of like 10 days ago was very much in the running for a 1 seed. So I got to tell you, the tournament committee did not make it.
What's that all about, Elle?
I don't know.
Oh, they're racist. That's why. Is it racist because she's white, Elle? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think that, clearly our white sisters have always had to face some of the especially in this sport. And so I feel for her. She doesn't get enough attention or love. I got to say, though, this pours cold water all over the notion that we sort of orchestrate who gets to move on to the Final Four, because they are not making this path easy for Caitlin Clark at all, despite knowing that she is a huge moneymaker.
So we assumed, just as the thought that you just had there, we are the doofuses that think that. All right, we're going to have Iowa in one, we're going to have SC in one, we're going to have LSU in another one, and then I don't know who the 4th team would have been this year. Who would that 4th team been? I guess you just said it.
It was Texas that ended up getting the 1 seed. It was also between Stanford as well.
Okay, so Texas, Stanford, and then the Final Four is like, here, this is what you came for.
Yeah.
This is what we're here
Correct.
for. Instead, it's not that. Angel or Caitlin are going to knock each other out in the Elite Eight, and then we're going to have to keep it moving. Now, Ty, who's an Iowa Hawkeye diehard, has a question.
Yeah, Elle, why do you think that is a two-part question? Why do you think they did end up kind of screwing Iowa over? Like, I mean, it's very similar to the men's draw where UConn is by and far the best team in the tournament, and they have maybe the most difficult path to the Final Four. But why do you like?
Is LSU not as good this year?
Well,
is that why they ended up in there?
they just made it to the SEC championship, and you said it, like they're not technically hand-picking matchups, but like doesn't that kind of just take the entire process of making the selections and like throwing it into the wind when if they are supposed to be the number 2 overall seed and they arguably have the most difficult path, like why do you think that ended up happening?
There are some metrics that are in play when it comes to picking for the women's show as well. Like they also have to follow something called an S curve, which is like a specific metric in terms of how many conference teams can be in the same bracket, how far they'll have to travel. There's like a lot of stuff that goes into it, like a few additional wrinkles from the mint. I got to be honest with you though. We sat there yesterday, guys, scratching our head going, it would have been really easy to take some of these like 2 and 3 seeds from these other brackets and put it in Iowa's bracket so that it would have been a little bit of an easier path. I mean, it's all about matchups, right? And the problem is that it's not LSU. McAfee, I heard you say, Pat, is LSU worse this year? They're the same seeding as they were last year. They're a 3 seed. The difference this year is that they're a lot bigger, right? Like they don't have Alexis Morris, who was a guard for them, their point guard, and a great facilitator. They're still a little weak there, but they're a lot bigger. They added Haley Van Lith. They added Anissa Morrow. They can really match up in the post, and that is not at all Iowa's strong suit. Certainly that didn't bother them as much last year when they faced South Carolina, but I just think it's a matchup nice. UCLA, same thing. They're really big players. Like they've got big post players, and that does not lend itself to Iowa's strong suit. So I don't know why. I don't sit on the committee. There's 12 people. They said that this was hotly debated. I even asked the question, guys, as we have a chance to kind of huddle with them, and I asked them, I go, so not at any point did you guys plot out the bracket and go, ooh, I don't know about having Iowa and LSU in an Elite Eight matchup. Maybe we should save that for Cleveland. And she says they don't look at those things. They seed everybody, and then how they end up is how they end up when they put it in the machine.
Well, shout out to them for being super honorable.
Yeah, sure. Nice.
Way to go. We appreciate it. Didn't even think about it. Didn't even, what are you talking about?
That's dumb.
Had to have come up in the Oh, that's good journalism. That was a good question out there. But listen, Caitlin Clark in Iowa and Angel Reese in LSU, hey, they wouldn't want any other way. You got to go through the best to be named the best. Matchup certainly an interesting thing with that Iowa team. Seems to be smaller this year than last year.
Yeah, for sure.
Smaller this year than they were last year, right, Elle?
Correct. They don't have Monica Zanano. They don't have McKenna Warnock. So they definitely don't have some of the size that they had last year. She doesn't have that sort of Robin to her Batman like she had with Zanano last year. It's really going to have to be about all the guards stepping up. Can Gabby Marshall step up? Can Hannah Stolke step up? She is a little undersized for a post player. But we saw that in their game against Ohio State to end the regular season. And we saw that again in their Big Ten run to a Big Ten title in the tournament. If their guards can shoot the lights out, then they can absolutely be a Final Four team no matter who they're playing.
How many home games in the women's tournament?
Yeah, so they'll host the first 2 rounds. They're in Iowa, and then they'll move on to Albany, which I was told by the internet yesterday. I say weird. I didn't know, you guys, that it's Albany. I call it Albany, and I don't know if that's
Albany's
egregious.
wrong.
Is that super egregious? Okay.
Yeah,
so
you're Atlanta too, right? You're Atlanta too?
Yeah, there's an Albany, Georgia. And so I just kept calling it Albany, and everyone was like, you dumb an idiot. It's Albany. So I
how do you say, like,
feel
when you go to a movie
theater?
Oh, you don't do theater. I thought that was
No. Theater that's interesting. It's a theater.
Yeah, we agree.
Yeah,
we agree completely
in that region.
But there is people from down in that Georgia region who have dropped theater on us, and we've stopped completely and been like, never heard that before.
Unbelievable.
That's very sophisticated.
Those are the same people that take the number 10 and make it 2 syllables. You know.
10.
I'm talking about Marty. I said 10.
10.
It's a 5.
Yeah.
10.
Marty Smith is. Marty and McGee will certainly be able to draw some things out if they had to. Let's learn a couple superstars, shall we? Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, we've talked about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. Who were some other girls that we have to watch in this tournament, like that are just showstoppers we need to see?
Well, I mean, I could literally go right down the list on the scoring because the top scorer, of course, in D1 is Caitlin Clark. Right behind her and already breaking some of her freshman records is Juju Watkins from USC. She is so fun to watch. She can light it up. Like legit, she's breaking records that like Cheryl Miller and Lisa Leslie held, and that should tell you everything you need to know. An incredible freshman. She's got USC back in a position they haven't been in a long time and a lot quicker than they thought. I would watch for her. They've got a pretty interesting run. We could potentially get a USC UConn. So it would be Juju Watkins, who's going to be freshman of the year, versus Paige Beckers. Like, that would be nasty. I also think, and we're going to talk to her on SportsCenter tonight, Hannah Hidalgo at Notre Dame. You know why? I know this show likes dogs. And like Hannah Hidalgo is a dog in the best kind of way. She talks shit. Yes. She's fast. She will pick your pocket. Her pace is frenetic and crazy. She is third in scoring.
Notre Dame.
She's for Notre Dame.
Okay.
Notre Dame.
I like Notre Dame.
Hannah Hidalgo is so fun to watch. Notre Dame they've got a nice favorable matchup as well, a favorable bracket as well. I would definitely watch for Hannah Hidalgo because she's just phenomenal. And then I'll give you one more freshman because I think like all the freshmen are doing their thing at Texas. She's the first freshman to ever get Big 12 Player of the Year. She shared that honor, but her name is Madison Booker, man. And she's got Texas as a 1 seed simply because of her will. Like she is fantastic. I think you'll enjoy watching her too.
Okay. Who's the 6'8" girl? SC?
Camila Cardoso.
She's banking home winners.
Yeah.
Next night, she's fighting people.
Yeah.
And I think she's a part of the Omaha Productions. They did like a year-long behind-the-scenes
doc.
I don't know that. Hold on, I just got sent the name of this. It looks awesome.
Yeah, so good.
They
the quarterback.
Omaha is everywhere.
Oh yes.
Omaha. Peyton's everywhere.
He gets it.
He gets access too.
Yeah.
I guess this accent. This one is called. Yeah, don't know the name, so it's going to be tough. Full Court Press? Full Court Press is the name of it.
Hell yeah.
I believe it's going to be on ESPN Plus.
There she is.
Yeah. I get they're in the locker room before games. That's the Iowa coach. When Caitlin breaks all the records, I think they're there before, during, and afterwards.
Yes.
With the LSU team, I think they're there. With the South Carolina team, slapping in the face. Caitlin Clark doing that, slapping herself in the face. That's going to be. So I'm excited to watch this. Congrats to Omaha. And thank you to the ladies for allowing them to film that. Like, genuinely. Thank you for the X. This comes out in May, I'm being told. Cannot wait to watch it. The women's college basketball, since last year, March Madness, has piqued our interest. Last year, March Madness was storylines, shit talk like you talked about with Hidalgo, but also pure skill, like just nasty. Let alone Caitlin Clark getting even better. I'm excited. Good for Omaha, and thank you for Full Court Press, presented by State Farm. You know that asshole Jake is going to be in there.
Oh, yeah.
Jake is going to find a way to get dunked on by somebody.
At the game in Iowa.
Oh, yeah, when he was dapping up Travis Scott.
Yep.
I met him in Iowa, and here's the thing. Never meet people and then ask them their real name, because I found out who his real name was. And then in the broadcast, I was supposed to like shout him out. And I was like, and there we see Maya Moore sitting next to
fake name, real name.
Jake from State Farm.
Oh, yeah.
Right, like I wanted to call him his real name. Which, do you want to take any guesses on what his real name is?
No. Kevin?
Hidalgo?
Steve. I think it's Jerry, right?
Steven? Ryan? Brian?
First, how did you know it? You knew his name. I was going to say you knew. His name's Kevin.
Somebody right here.
Zito.
That was Zito going. His name's Kevin. I hated finding it out, too. That's what he's saying. So everybody hates finding out his real name. He needs to introduce himself as Jake.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why that he needs to do that. Like at the WWE. So I commentate for the WWE, and there are some people who don't go by their actual names.
Sure.
What?
I don't call them by their...
Since when?
Some, not a lot. It's very new. It's very new. This is not a normal thing.
You're just like, hi, Mr. Undertaker? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Yeah.
That's exactly. I call him Take. I go right up to him and call him Take. There's other people that call him by. That's a perfect situation. There's other people that call him by his name, and it's like never me. I will call him Take every single time. I don't even want to know the other name, because my first reaction whenever they do something, oh, look at Mark, Dahn, Pow driver. You don't want to do that. Anyways, speaking of a team that we don't don't know much about, but one man does. And he kind of just like dumped all in his Wheaties at the beginning of this entire thing. Khan's got a question for you.
Yeah, Elle, thanks for coming on and just shitting on my dreams right away, because I was going to ask about the ladies of Fairfield over in Connecticut who went a casual 31-1 this year and got a 13 seed to play Indiana on Saturday. And you come on right away and say, hey, guess what? If you're a fan of anybody who isn't a top team, just go the hell home because their team sucks and they're not going to win. Is there any chance that
this Fairfield team's different?
That maybe you overstepped. Maybe
these Stags are different.
You missed something over in Fairfield that maybe it's just hitting you now. Wait, they do have a chance to go to the Final Four? Or is this really a situation that I should temper my expectations? Because I already made a bracket and the Fairfield women edged out Iowa in the national championship to take home their first title.
Well, I think that first of all, we've got to identify, because the key to any great Cinderella team is they have to have like a mascot. Like, do they have a Sister Jean or anything like that?
They
would galvanize.
They got the Fairfield Stag mascot.
They have you,
this guy,
They have you.
Yeah, it's me.
This guy is the guy.
I'll carry the stag horns.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no. All of those things considered. No, I don't think that it's going to happen. I'm so sorry for. How far did you have them going?
I have them beating Iowa in the national championship.
Oh God,
31-1. This team doesn't lose.
Yeah, player of the year.
You're an unserious person. Yeah, you say that.
Unserious people.
What the hell?
No, what don't make a mockery out of our show.
Totally unserious pick to put them in the. I'd say winning a first round game for a 13 seed is a really, really big deal, but to put them in the Natty, I don't know. We saw what happened with Gonzaga. They had the second longest streak going. I think they won like 24 games in a row, only to get beat by Portland in the WCC championship.
Yes.
So no, I don't know.
Anything can happen.
Has any team, Elle, you might not know this. I don't know this. South Carolina is currently undefeated. And when you watch them, I don't know their point guard's name. Nasty.
Dog.
They have the
Raven Johnson.
There it is, Raven Johnson.
Yeah.
She's awesome to watch. Then you talk about like Dawn Staley's like
a dog.
Absolute beast, it feels like. Whenever you're talking about rallying. They weren't in the national championship last year, so they're able to use that literally all year as motivation and everything. Has there ever been a team just clean sweep, completely undefeated from the beginning of the event? Yeah, I assume.
UConn several times.
UConn several times. Don't think
that was
we've
back when
seen
he ran
it
it.
since UConn.
Gino.
Does UConn suck now? Does Gino no longer coach up there?
No, they got it still.
Gino still coaches there. It's not that UConn sucks. I have to be totally honest with you. Have you ever felt like you are someone's put a hex on you, or that someone down in certain areas in the South had like a little doll that they're like poking? Or it kind of feels like that's what's happening with UConn. I got to be honest. They have seen unparalleled injuries the last 3 years, like to the point where I asked Gino at the beginning of this year, before he had more catastrophic injuries to his team, have you ever seen anything like what you've experienced the last 3 years? And he's like, I'm just starting to wonder, like, what's happening? Like, who did I piss off? What bad juju is out there in the world?
He's acknowledged it too.
The only reason. It's uncanny how many significant injuries that this team has faced, not just with like depth players. I'm talking about with their stars. Like whatever they do this year, they're doing it without AZ Fun, who is supposed to be the Robin to Paige Becker. So yeah, AZ Fudd is out. Like they've had a really, they've had first team all name for sure. They've had a really bad run of injuries, and I think that's obviously why they don't get talked about as much. And there's just more parity. You know, it used to be every single year you could bank on them being in the Final Four, and like all the other teams got better too.
All right, last question here from Ty.
Yeah, Elle, I know you guys asked this last night.
She's ESPN Bet too, remember?
Oh yeah.
And
great commercial, Elle.
Yeah, Elle, you crushed it. Good acting with the drink and everything. You crushed
best
it.
one by far.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you. My husband said I was nosy and that I was being a weirdo by stalking that lady and her conversations.
Well, the character. That wasn't you. That was character, Elle.
Right. Yeah, right.
Exactly.
But first of all, I don't. Who's the last team that beat South Carolina?
Who was it?
I don't remember.
Who was it?
Oh wait, no, it was Iowa. It was Iowa last year in the tournament. That's neither here nor there. Just curious, is it really like South Carolina or the field? And is like the predominant thought that South Carolina is just too good and that it doesn't matter how well anyone else is playing, they're going to just kind of run through the tournament and win it all?
Basketball mind on this side would tell you that the only people that are going to beat South Carolina is South Carolina. Now, I get it, especially as an Iowa person. I get it, right? Like, you guys literally beat them last year. They were a favorite last year as well. But last year, They just didn't have that outside shooting, and they've got that. They brought in Dahina Pow from Oregon. She's a transfer. She can light it up. Raven Johnson is lighting it up. They've got great two-way players. Like, they can shoot now and play defense. They've got an inside and outside game. Like, honestly, South Carolina is going to have to beat themselves in order to get beat. They are really just that good. So I would say that overwhelmingly, most of the brackets are going South Carolina's way.
All right. Well, you guys had a phenomenal season. It was fun to watch those college game days on the weekend. Way to carry the baton through all of college basketball. Thanks for crushing it, Elle. We appreciate you.
Hey, fellas. Hope it's not the last time. See you soon.
No, hey. We need it.
Yeah, we hope.
You just made us a lot better. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, Elle Duncan, thank you.
Yeah.
We're big fans of Elle.
Oh, yeah. Well,
get a chance to meet Elle. What's that?
Aside from that asinine statement regarding the Fairfield women's basketball team.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about something. She was put in an interesting spot a few years back.
Oh, yeah,
that
of course.
Really,
That's not on her, though.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't
She's
even
not the one to
associate.
say, excuse me.
No.
I need to.
She's always been awesome to us.
Always been very awesome and gets it with us, by the way.
Very much so.
Literally since the beginning. I had a chance to host Get Up alongside of her every single Monday when she was filling in. I think Laura Rutledge was out on, she was pregnant, I believe, and then she got moved to NFL Live after that. But Elle Duncan was filling in. So it was me, Rex Ryan, Orlovsky, Greeny, and Elle. And it was like she was cool. She was cool to us every single week, and I enjoyed the hell out of her. She did do some acting in an ESPN Bet commercial.
Oh, great.
Hey, what they drink, Lars? Hey, how we doing? ESPN Bet now available. March Madness is going to be a big time to test themselves.
Yeah.
ESPN Bet.
Oh, yeah.
We don't know any of the people at ESPN Bet, but we do know that March Madness is a time where your systems really get checked.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of action.
Take the dogs.
Especially while you're like, well, you bet $100 on every single dog.
I have all 14 games right now locked in on the Thursday underdogs. Yes, $100 money line, all of them doing the challenge.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, and we appreciate you being the guinea pig of our group to do that.
Well, let's just make some money, hopefully.
Well, we'll get to see, because if you lose a bunch of money, then the whole tale about March Madness, Underdog City is wrong because you lost thousands of dollars.
Yeah. Bingo.
But if you win and going into the next March Madness, we'll have the mindset of, this guy got rich off the underdogs.
Yeah.
Let's never forget it. Joining us now is a man who might give us more answers as opposed to just betting on one side of the slate. Host of College Game Day, both football and basketball for the men's. Ladies and gentlemen, friend of the program, Reese Davis.
Yeah, Reese.
Reese, baby, how you doing?
Guys doing?
Well, I don't know if it's us or you that has it be muted at the beginning of every single statement. We hope that doesn't happen again, but it is great to see you. Thank you. You had a big weekend, right? You were down at the ACC Championship?
I was there at the ACC tournament and then back there for Bracketology yesterday.
Well, we appreciate your work. This guy never stops.
Attaboy, Reese.
This guy's been going since football season.
Yeah.
Football right into college basketball. Now we're at March Madness. Reese, obviously, India. Yeah, Herbie's.
I thought Herbie does that.
No, Herbie's in Fiji right now. We think
Again?
Oh, wow.
Fourth vacation.
Is he really?
there's a chance.
Third time in a month.
Who knows? He's on an island somewhere. Hey, he's earned it. Way to go, Herbie.
Baby Herbie.
Yeah.
You should see his tan right now with
I
his
can
blue
imagine.
eyes.
Oh,
man.
God.
Oh, how white his teeth are.
Probably modeling this summer.
Oh, just got done on my 6th island. This one, not as warm as the last 3. Oh, okay.
Nice.
Hey, you've earned it, Herbie. You've earned it. We miss you, buddy. Can't wait for the fall. But, Reese, I'll ask about one particular team, then the boys have some actual college basketball questions, and you're the man. We appreciate you joining us.
My pleasure.
They hate Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Indiana State. What is NET ranking? We learned about it yesterday on the internet. I'm pissed about it. They're the highest ranked NET ranked team in the history of the tournament to not make it into the tournament. They're number 29. I guess the next lowest was 33. So let alone being in top 30, but 33 and however many teams. Should I look into this as much as I am because they're in Indiana and I want to be pissed because they have a character that I like that plays on their team? Or how should I view the snubs from this particular year of March Madness, Reese?
I thought there were a few, and Indiana State was one of them that
I knew they were screwing us. I knew they were screwing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I'm sick of it, Reese. Okay, good.
Do you like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? I had Josh Schertz on the show yesterday, and he also dropped Larry Nerd for Robbie Avila. You like that one?
Good. Larry Nerd's not too bad. I'm pretty pumped. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Larry Nerd and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yep.
Are they good at basketball? Both those, the namesakes?
Yes.
Yeah, they are. Not in the tournament. I don't like that at all, Reese. I haven't watched a single game of theirs. I've seen the highlights, though. The Sycamores deserve to be in, but is there more this year? Was the bubble wild this year as opposed to years past?
Yes, everything changed a little bit because there were a number of bid stealers. It's one of the reasons, without going too far down in the weeds, that those first 4 games, you see teams playing for 10 seeds. Typically, they're playing for 11 or 12. It's because a lot of the teams that won automatic bids were pretty far down the list, and so they were seeded lower, and it put pressure on teams like Indiana State. Now, Indiana State, even though they were a great story, they wouldn't have been the first team that I said. I thought Pittsburgh should have been in. I thought St. John should have been in. But I think the thing is, at the end of the line, it's hard to get really, really mad about, at least for me anyway, hard to get really mad about a team not making it at the end of the line, because you're not talking, 4-5, like Florida State in football this year. You're talking, 68, 69, or 70 and that type of thing.
Yeah, but the playoff is already at 12 games. It's going to 14 games.
Yep.
Wait until you hear how pissed people are going to be at 15.
Oh, man.
Oh, buddy, it never stops.
Hey, I've heard plenty from the people that were pissed at 5 this year, so I can imagine that 15 will be about the same.
None of us heard as much as Kirk Herbstreit.
No, we didn't.
Which might be why, he is trying to find every beach that he possibly could at the time being. Let's talk about, maybe some unknowns. Tone's got a question for you, Reese.
Yeah, Reese, let's talk about the Cinderellas, because it's that Cinderella time. And just so you know, when they go on a run, it's pronounced Duquesne, Dukes, okay? I know it's not Duquesne. It's not.
Who said that?
What?
Somebody said Duquesne?
No, but I know Reese is a professional, but I just didn't know if he knew it was the Duquesne Dukes. Okay?
Sounds like somebody said Duquesne.
Well, a lot of people in the history of Duquesne have said Duquesne.
Well, that's because nobody knows the school exists. It's right above a jail.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people say.
Great day to be in
French.
But let's talk, I don't know, let's say
hey, add that to your coverage, actually, for game day. Duquesne literally sits on the roof of a jail in downtown Pittsburgh.
I wish I'd talked to you guys about this before, because the best thing I had yesterday was that The Water Boy was filmed at Stetson, which made the tournament. But Duquesne being on top of a jail was better than my Norm Nixon from Duquesne Nuggets that I had yesterday. So you beat me on that one.
Well, Duquesne Dukes, though, love Duquesne. This guy's actually said that Duquesne was supposed to be an Ivy League school. There just wasn't enough patches of grass around campus that the Ivy Leagues won't allow them in there, because Duquesne is downtown Pittsburgh. Like, I understand the University of Pittsburgh is in Oakland, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which is a region. They are literally right on top of a jail in there. Beautiful campus, Duquesne. Great people have gone there. Their basketball team, though, no shot this year. Is that right, Tone?
No, that's not true. They're slight dogs against BYU. I think they're going to pull it off, especially because it's a win-1 for the Gipper situation with Coach just announcing his retirement today. But let's throw Duquesne out. But let's go 10 or lower, 9 or lower. And who's the Cinderellas you're looking at this year?
I've got a few. I really like McNeese State. I think they've got a chance to get to the Sweet 16. They opened against Gonzaga.
Were they on the street yesterday when they got introduced? Did you see that? They were on a turning lane, I think.
Were they really?
They were outside, I think, sitting in the middle of a road, because there was a turning lane that the one guy, who I assume was the point guard or something like that, was standing on. I'm like, did they do this outside, or did McNeese State have the big crowd? I forget. There was a couple really good setups yesterday, Reese.
Yeah, I can't remember. We were on at the same time. We did not have a camera at McNeese State for our bracketology, so I didn't see how they reacted exactly. So I just know, their coach was at LSU, got caught up in that whole FBI thing. He's given me fodder for a couple of years because he got caught on tape saying he was going to make a quote strong ass offer for a player. So we reference that in a semi-veiled fashion from time to time. But he's a tremendous coach, and they've won 31 games, and I think they've got a chance. Another one, too, and I might get my alumni card revoked, but Charleston plays Alabama. They're a 13 seed. I think Alabama's hit a little bit of a wall, and Charleston shoots a bunch of threes and can be a really dangerous team. So those are a couple off the top. And I've got New Mexico. I've got New Mexico as an 11 seed going to the Elite Eight. Now, do I totally believe in New Mexico? Probably not. But from being around Bob Knight all those years, Bob used to say, dumb loses more than smart wins, my boy. And it's not that I'm saying all the teams that are dumb lose that are dumb. I'm just saying that maybe find teams that are vulnerable more so than finding teams that you think are great. So I I'm taking a little bit of a flyer with New Mexico because I I just wonder if Arizona's going to step on a rake and hit themselves in the face. I don't quite trust Baylor to play defense. I'm just taking a flyer in that part of the bracket too.
Okay, so they got Clemson in the first round. Then Baylor would be second round if Baylor was able to beat Colgate, and then potentially Arizona. But Long Beach State got the fired coach. Maybe they got a little extra juice over there. We should be pumped about this particular bracket you had this year, college basketball. Talk to us as if maybe, just maybe,
there's a chance.
It's not me, a friend.
Sure.
Somebody else. We didn't pay attention to college basketball season closely. Okay, let's just, not us, obviously.
No.
We're on every day on ESPN.
Always.
We understand the platform we have. We got to know sports inside and out, especially college basketball whenever it comes to March Madness. But let's just say somebody didn't. We should be pumped for this year's March Madness. We got a bunch of good teams this year.
I don't know that we have historically great teams, but we've got a lot of really good ones, and we've got a lot of balance. Now, UConn may prove to be historically great. And it has been a season where there have been upsets regularly. Top 10 teams haven't been able to stay in the top 10 because they keep getting clipped by unranked teams. So I think you're going to have a good bit of turnover in the middle of the bracket this year, and that'll be fun. The one thing is that the very bottom of the bracket might be a little bit softer than some years just because of what we talked about earlier with surprise teams winning the automatic bids. But I think UConn's elite. I think they've got a brutal draw too, because Auburn, I think, is a potential Final Four team.
I saw Bruce Pearl crying. I saw Bruce Pearl crying. Remember, he got run out of Tennessee, obviously, because of who knows. I do not know. What?
Cheating.
What? No.
That was why.
Yeah.
No.
Here's the story in a nutshell and a little bit glossed over. He was recruiting Aaron Kraft. It wasn't within the rules to have Kraft come to his house at the time of his visit.
I'm on a boat.
He did, and then there was allegations that they asked him not to shoot straight about it with the investigators, and it got turned into a really big deal. One of those things.
A lot of these suits. Yeah. Tell them you weren't there. Yeah. They good of all of us. I have no idea. I had a chance to have a couple cocktails with Bruce alongside Pat.
He's a good guy.
Alongside Pat Summitt, Peyton Manning, the governor of Tennessee. I was very confused on why I was in the room, but he was phenomenal. Pat was, rest in peace, as well. Obviously, Peyton and the governor, incredible people. Governor, I don't know if he was about my shit or not, but we had a real good time. Bruce was a good dude, but it was shortly thereafter he was out of Tennessee. He got emotional when Auburn won, I think, just yesterday. Is this his first time back at the mountaintop? Because I think he was being heralded as the guy that's maybe the next great basketball coach whenever I was introduced to him, right?
Yes, he is a great basketball coach, but it's not his first time back. He actually took Auburn to the Final Four in 2019, and they had a really, really controversial call go against them that kept them from going to the national championship game. And, so he's won the SEC tournament. This is the second time, I believe, he's won it at Auburn. But his father passed away a little less than a year ago, so I think that was part of it as well. A strong family guy. His son Steven's on the staff there. So, he's an emotional guy. His players play hard for him, and that was a great win for them yesterday for sure.
Yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of him. He was hilarious, too.
He's a funny guy.
Yeah, great energy. Had real juice. When I was out. Not a lot of people have real juice. This guy's got real juice. I appreciated it.
Did you know he was everybody makes it out to be like it was a season-long thing, but when he was just getting started, he was at Boston College. He was actually the Boston College mascot for a game. He dressed up in that Eagle costume.
Yep. Whatever you need. Yeah. This guy's ready. Congrats to him. Hopefully Auburn goes on a run. Let's stay up in the New England area because you've mentioned him a couple times. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Reese, is it safe to say that the best bet you could have would be the UConn men and Coach Hurley getting it done? Or how do you see that whole entire thing playing out with them? Because they are the heavy favorites, not as heavy as, say, South Carolina in the women's bracket, but they are the heavy favorites of this tournament this year.
I agree with that. I think they're the best team. I'm picking them to win the national championship, and I think they will have to help whoever beats them, even a terrific team like Auburn, or if they run into Iowa State or somebody else. They've got Illinois in their bracket, who's very capable. But UConn has so many different ways to beat you, and not as many teams have that few holes. I think they're sensational. It's hard to repeat. Hasn't happened since Florida in 06 and 07. but I think UConn's up for it.
What about Big Cats Wisconsin versus PFT's JMU? How do you feel about the Pardon My Take matchup in the first round? How do we feel about it?
Maybe I'm biased toward our game day football trip to JMU, but I'm picking the Dukes in that game.
Hey, let's go.
Went over and saw them play that night. We were down there, Pat. Saw them play Radford. They beat Michigan State. They're good. They're really good. I think they won 31 games, if memory serves. And I've got them winning a game.
Ty just showed me a dry erase board or something I don't want to hear, especially in this great state of Indiana. After Indiana State gets screwed and Indiana doesn't make it.
Sure. Purdue's
not going to choke, right? Purdue, that's not going to happen. Purdue's going to go. The Big Ten championship, they're getting it out of the way.
They set them up pretty well, but we'll see. I don't know. Are they going to choke? You think, Reese?
No, Edie's different. Edie's different.
How?
I've said that I would need to see it to believe it because that's a lot of baggage.
Said that last
but,
week, Reese.
But I know. But let me tell you this: they set them up now. I mean, it would be virtually. I will be stunned beyond words if they don't at least get to the 8. I think they will walk to the 8.
So they got Montana State, obviously. Go Montana State.
The Bobcats.
Bobcats, yeah. I'm on a rodeo team. Mm-hmm. Either of them are Grambling. Then they got who there? TCU make a win or Utah State? Who do you think?
I think probably TCU, but Utah State's a good team as well.
Still
and then, I'm sorry, what was that?
Jamie Dixon still there?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
he's
still there. Yes, he's still there, coach. He's very good. And the bottom part of the bracket, like I said, I like McNeese to upset Gonzaga. And Kansas is sort of a shell of itself because of injuries. And Samford, we talked about them last week. So I think the bottom half of that little section of the bracket opens up wide for Purdue. So I think Purdue walks to the 8, and the question is, can they beat Tennessee? Wow. And if they do, then the Gorillas off the bat.
Well, as we wrap up here on ESPN, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll continue on YouTube and ESPN Plus. Cheers. Missed it, I think, by half a second.
No,
Reese, you would have done a better job than me there. That's why you're hosting. I'm just doofusing in Thunderdome. You know what I mean?
No.
I think we missed it by half a second or so. I'm going to get cut off. Let me check. There's a big TV over there. Reese is wrapping up his take. We played the music. He heard it. It's the Oscars. Let me stop. Reese is a professional. Let's go into break. I'm still talking.
What?
Yeah.
My bad. I'm sorry, man.
Reese, you son of a bitch.
That was a quick music.
You son of a bitch.
Reese, this is not you. Reese, this was not you at all. You're in the middle of some good stuff there. You're breaking down the entire thing. I was starting to take notes because I'm like, I got to fill out my bracket here. Yeah. You know, because you said Charleston over Alabama. It's like last year I remember Alabama was really good.
Yep.
But the reason why I knew they were very good is because they had a player who had to be phenomenal at basketball.
Oh, yeah.
For everything that happened to take place for him to continue to play basketball. It's like this guy has got to be very good. Different team. There are 4. See, Clemson, you seemingly did not have a lot of hope for as you were picking New Mexico to potentially beat them. It's like, here we go. Let's make some money off this entire thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Duquesne, are you kidding me? Duquesne taking on BYU? That BYU team, it's too late in the season, right? They're too old. They're too mature. Their knees are hurting. Is that real or not?
They can shoot it, man. BYU can really score.
What's Duquesne's strength? 3-point defense.
Ooh. 3-point defense is your strength?
Well, it's just one of the high points of this team.
I have never heard of teams.
They also
opponents
have the
3-point.
What's your strength? We are 3-point defense.
Well, no. He brought up shooting, and I just looked over the Dukes today, and I think they're top 10 in 3-point defense. Okay, so that was just something that popped to my head. They also have one of the best free throw shooters in the nation. So if you get down to a free throw shooting competition at the end, good luck.
That's big.
If one guy gets fouled or technical fouls happen, we're sending this guy.
Bingo.
He's a shooter.
Listen, they're talking about how it's a group of death, and they're talking about, the Big 12, Big 10 champ, SEC champ, Big East champ. How about the A-10 champ in there as well?
Who's that?
That would be Duquesne Dukes.
Oh, with LeBron's old coach.
Yes. Yeah.
Any of those schools, Tony, next to a prison, watching that grit every
I don't
day?
think so.
Okay, well.
There is windows. Can you guys see the windows?
Yeah, we can see them.
So I used to have to drive by said prison 3 times a week to go to soccer practice on the other side of the city. Tim McAfee, shout out. We've been on a road literally since I'm 11 years old, pretty much. Long drive, 45 minutes through the city, through rush hour. And you are parked waiting to get through one of the tunnels, Fort Pitt, right in front of the prison.
Mm-hmm.
So nice old game is, let's see if we see anybody in there, And you do.
Oh, yeah.
You do?
Oh, yeah. Looking out the window.
Full on.
They had a nice gym in there, too, in the Clayton. They were running hoops games in there.
Yeah, you used to see some shots, and there'd be somebody obviously new to the jail that was shooting up some trash, and then they would get sent out there, and there was some splash happening, and The Duquesne Dukes got a chance to watch some real prisoners throw down,
Exactly.
and that's going to carry them to a big-time win.
I mean, listen, if Coach got LeBron to where he is today, I think he could get the Dukes to at least Sweet 16.
Did you see that? Braun said congratulations to the Duquesne Dukes, Reese.
I saw that. That was Jay Billis was with me, and Jay covered his game in high school.
Has Jay calmed down yet? Has Jay calmed down? I heard he wants to arrest every person in every arena where college basketball is.
He's good. I think that might have gotten blown up a little bit on him a little bit.
What? Oh, a little out of context. And people are saying a little out of context. Got it. Well, we appreciate you joining us, Reese. Have a phenomenal March Madness. Where can we see you? Where are you?
We'll be on game day Saturdays and Sundays, typically at 11 o'clock Eastern, but there will be one, I think, that's on at noon. I'm not sure which day.
Traveling or in studio?
In studio until the Final Four, then we'll go to Phoenix.
All right.
So we'll go to all right, man.
Well, enjoy home for a few weeks.
Yeah.
I'll try. You guys do. Keep crushing it, fellas. Enjoy, you guys.
We appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, Reese Davis.
Yeah, Reese.
All right, let's get to a break. We appreciate it. So I got the bracket pretty much figured out.
Yeah. Yep. New Mexico.
He has no faith in Clemson.
No.
That's who they're playing first. And he goes, Bob Knight used to say, dumb loses more than smart wins. And I'm like, so he's saying Clemson.
Well,
No, I'll go basketball.
I saw SVP was tweeting about New Mexico too, because there's this guy who's basically college basketball lore who does these statistical rankings.
Lenardi?
Lenardi is ESPN's bracketology guy. I'm talking about, his name's Ken Pomeroy. He's got New Mexico as the 23rd best team in the country, and they're an 11th seed.
Which is obviously nowhere near what they should be.
No, bingo.
Should be like a 5 then.
Bingo.
That's what I've been saying this whole time. I'm fucking sick of it.
Yeah.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with what they're doing in New Mexico.
It's not right.
I'm done with it, dude.
It ain't.
They had Lenardi on TV this weekend.
Mm-hmm. Joey Brackets.
Pitt fans are not happy with that guy.
They said bracketologist since 2001.
Oh, yeah.
Bracketologist.
Has he got a perfect one?
Is that when they created the name? Bracketologist?
Yeah, it had to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
He is the original bracketologist?
Yeah.
We try to get him on the show. He's booked.
Of course.
Makes sense.
Yeah, till May.
I was like, hey, Fosso, who's the March Madness person? He goes, Lenardi. And I go, oh, he's on my TV right now. 2001, bracketologist. I'm like, holy shit, this guy's a doctor.
Yeah.
Well, you need this guy.
Yeah.
Can we get him on the show? Booked. Can't.
Okay.
It's March Madness. What do you fucking think the bracketologist is doing?
Booked
Waiting
for
around to
months.
get on shows. He's filling out brackets, I think.
Oh, yeah. Nonstop.
Trying to win people $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
That's what bracketologists do.
Bingo.
Staying on business.
SOB.
Let's get to a break. This last hour has sports that need to be seen.
Oh, yeah.
So many.
Sports that are happening is in fuego right now.
Yes, it is.
Soccer has a spinning heel kick to the head of somebody wearing a mask from a soccer player.
Yep.
Awesome.
We'll talk about that in the next hour. Spinning one of these.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Big
Sugar
time.
Sean.
Dog.
That was in Turkey. People charging the field. He goes, we should get out of here? Nah, fuck that.
Yeah.
Let him keep running. A guy had a mask on. Spinning heel kick. Soccer player. Professional soccer player. Probably fantasized about doing that.
Oh, yeah.
With cleats on?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Come on.
He was ground and pounding the guy, too, right on top of him after the spin kick.
We'll talk about that. It's happening in Turkey.
That's right.
International show. People say we're shallow.
No.
We did women's basketball first.
Bingo.
Yep. No big deal.
Men's college basketball. About to do the soccer.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Might make an announcement about the soccer as well.
Really?
Ooh.
Whoa.
Nice.
Oh,
Bonus ball. That's technically got to be it.
oh no.
Oh, that one looked great.
Felt
Yeah.
good.
I felt so good. I boozed though, so muscles on it.
Oh, that's what it is.
Got in for the back.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, just gotta adjust a little bit.
Right.
Just gotta adjust a little
Well
bit.
done.
Thank
Absolutely well done.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, that's the difference. It's all those little inches that are all around us
Yep.
Yes, it is.
that really determine how our day is going to go. Whenever we wake up and that inch right in front of our face, if we decide, this breath of air is going to be a good one, and we're going to view today as if it's our birthday, even though it's not our birthday.
Sure.
Because what's the difference between your birthday and every other day? Nothing, other than your attitude if it's a special day.
Bingo.
Today is a special day. You know why?
What's that?
Because all those little inches all around us can make it special.
Oh, yeah.
Let's enjoy today. Let's have a great third hour on the other side. No AJ Hawk, he's on vacation.
Ah, okay.
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. Take 5.
5.
Gentlemen, congratulations. Thank you so much for taking the time where you're contractually obligated to, so I appreciate you guys being here.
I want to be here. I just want you to know.
Come on.
I have watched you do your thing, man. Nothing but respect and praise for you.
Will you touch this? Me too, man.
Way to go, son. Number 2 overall, baby.
Bench, dude. Boys, you're calling a national championship again, Kai Schmidt.
Unbelievable. Should we be here?
No!
Probably not.
No
but
way. I kicked the ball to myself on that.
Oh, yeah.
Right there, I kicked the ball to myself.
That's right. Should have told CJ.
Maybe the most athletic thing I've ever done in my entire being. Well, CJ, happy to see you.
Completely ruined.
Everybody's happy to see you.
Ruined the lot. I picked him.
Everybody's really
I picked
happy
him to
to
win.
see
I'm
you,
all right.
CJ. Congratulations on winning the AFC South as a rookie quarterback.
It's a big deal. First time ever with a rookie. You okay?
That's a big deal, CJ. Dude, you're absurd, bro.
Thank you.
For how young you are?
Playing in Indianapolis, that was probably the loudest stadium I played in NFL.
Wow.
That was like a college atmosphere.
How about that?
Pete, you got 2 knees, 2 ankles?
2 knees, 2 ankles, and some big boy pants that slide up around.
Move along like I know you can. Move along.
Where's that guy's penis go?
That guy had a lot of courage.
Good question.
It's ice cold in there. It's ice cold.
It's the first documented button dick.
Game day stuff.
That's what's being said. I didn't come up with that. That's what's being said.
It was our show, 3 hours, 15 minutes. Then it was the 2-hour gap. Then there's game day, straight in national championship field pass. For 2 schools that are going to be talking about this day for the rest of their lives. Both of these teams being chastised from all different angles. Washington, there's no way this team from the Pac-12 in their last year with Kalen DeBoer as the head coach can continue to win. They're going to stumble somewhere. They didn't. Then you think about Michigan. 2 separate suspensions for their head coach, and all they've done is stay the course. And tonight, banners, rings, reunion conversations forever on the line. What an honor it is to be here.
Look at belt buckle like yours, man.
Belt buckle. Like with some light ranching to do down here in Houston. He comes out of his cuts, he sees people, he shakes them, and he doesn't look anywhere near as small as you would think. He's powerful. I love Blake. A lot of NFL GMs are saying, wait a second, is Michael Penix maybe one of the top 3 guys to go to the NFL? Because what he does with a football is stupendous. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the national championship game for the 2023 college football season. That'll see the Washington Huskies representing the Pac-12 in its final year, taking on that team led by that man, the Michigan Wolverines and Jim Harbaugh. We're bouncing. We are house calling. Donovan Edwards, touchdown in the national championship. Extra point is up and good. D-Butt with the one-hand grab to start the national championship. And maybe D-Butt. Con man. What's the decibels over there?
Yeah, Pat, the decibels are high right now. Let me tell you, it's 106.4. This might be the line.
At decibel meter, we have actual gimmicks. Depending upon tonight, does JJ go to the NFL, which Mel Kiper has him as the 5th-rated quarterback in the draft? What does that mean, Mel?
Well, it means that he's got the physical and tangible tools in his head to be a first-round quarterback. I think whether he wins or loses. Oh,
Donovan Edwards running into our lap. That's 2 for the Michigan Wolverines and 2 for Donovan Edwards. Pete Thamel, how long's that sign block Walker been doing it? And how has he gotten to a level where he's the best in the game?
He's been a Michigan man for quite some time now. And obviously, he wouldn't have a job if it wasn't for that pesky bastard Connor Stallions. But Coach Harbaugh, he found a place for him in the Michigan family.
A beautiful moment between the Harbaugh brothers on the sideline. The one on the right there, number 1 seed in the AFC. The one on the left, up 17-3 in the national championship. Third option, McMillan, touchdown with a flag on Michigan. That'll stand 17-10. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Hey-o! Michigan has the rock.
Tony dropped his mic. Tony dropped his mic.
Oh, no.
Oh, no knee.
Welcome back to the national championship where elite athletes perform and Tone Diggs does something to embarrass his entire family.
I'm ready if Penix goes down. Sling. Boom!
Snap, handoff, play Cora. Has blockers. Breaks a tackle. Touchdown, Michigan. Penix is left. He hasn't looked there yet. And the Michigan Wolverines are going to be national champions for the first time in a long time. Oh, yes, security. We got a streaker. Security spearing the guy's losing his pants. Cops on top of him. Wow. Cross body. Wow. Cop's got his knee on his sternum. Say, listen, Michigan man.
Oh. Bag him and tag him, boys.
I think Pink Shirt pulled a quad.
Pink Shirt is not ready.
What a win, dude.
Jalen Milroe often wears his own branded apparel reading LANK across the front. It's an acronym that stands for Let a Naysayer Know. Being told by his former offensive coordinator, Bill O'Brien.
That is not what I thought.
Is that not what you thought?
Boy, let a naysayer know.
Let a naysayer know.
Of course.
The professional's right in the middle of his lead. That's all right. I just keep going.
You almost lost me again. It got real tight up here as you were. I just want to let you know.
Reese, you were too smooth with that. I thought it was going down. I thought it was going down out here. I looked over at Liz, didn't you?
Oh, sorry about it. Let a naysayer know.
Let a
naysayer know. That's what we thought the whole time. That's what we all thought.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Sport! Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this March Madness Monday, March 18th, 2024. Hour 3 of the program starts now. Sports! Are wonderful. Sports are amazing, and sports are happening, and I get a chance to chat about it alongside a great group of people every single day. The Toxic Table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. See a little hoodie over the shirt. What, are we a little scared?
No, not scared. This is actually...
Are we scared? We think our shirt stinks, so we're not going to wear it, and we're not going to showcase it? We're going to wear a hoodie over top of it?
Absolutely not.
Oh, St. Patrick's Day, a little bit long. Maybe I'm drinking too much, having too good of a time.
Right.
I was supposed to go to bed at 8. I ended up staying out till about 11:30 midnight because my name's Boston Connor Campbell on a Saturday night, so I can't wear my shirt. I got to cover it up. I think it looks like crop.
I wish I could have made it to 11:30 on Saturday. I made it to about 9:30. No, this shirt is one of my favorites. It's a purple wolf shirt. I mean, who doesn't love purple? Who doesn't love wolves? I will say, as someone who likes it cold, it is freezing in here. This is the first time I've worn a jacket.
Where?
This is the first time I've worn a jacket
here?
since the old office. I mean, you can go back and look through the tapes.
I do see hoodie.
Yeah,
One half of the hammer. Cowboys, Tone Diggs. You're wearing a hoodie as well.
Yeah, but you know me. I keep a hoodie out there in the think tank.
What are you guys saying? You guys saying it's uncomfortably cold in here?
Today was the first time. Yeah, nose was cold. Normally, I can deal with hands. Like, that's fine. Hands are going to get cold. You know, there are reasons for that. I'm not kidding. I haven't worn a hoodie on this show since 2021. And today was the first day where I looked around and I said, you know what? I could do it. I could tough it out. My life is drastically better if I just throw this hoodie on. Just take the shellings, take the slacking for having a hoodie
That's
from
gonna
you.
come.
That's
Yeah.
and here, and here we are at 2:10. I knew it was happening at some point, but no, it has nothing to do with me
We had
being
Justin
scared.
Fields in March Madness.
Yeah.
Schefter told the Colts fans Snead's not coming.
Right.
So a lot is taking place.
Snowing this morning after a beautiful couple weeks of 70-degree weather here in Indianapolis. So I think the fluctuation for
you
sure.
get used to the warm.
But no, I am not scared, as you put it.
It's soft.
I am not soft either. I think the majority would agree, hey, maybe today, Pat, was a little chilly in here, although we do all like it cold in here. That is a bottom line.
I run hot. I do run hot. Always have, always will. So I'm trying to find an air conditioner at all times everywhere that I am. And I do, have final vote in this particular place. So I like to keep it a little chilly in here. There was a time where my dad had like a controller of the temperature in this place in his office. And he had it at like 72 or something one day. And I was like, listen, Tim, you trying to smoke me out of here like I'm at some ayahuasca retreat? What the hell's going on?
What does that mean?
So we moved that out of his office immediately. And now, I am the potential person that accidentally leaves the cold air on all weekend, not knowing it was going to get freezing cold, and walk in here and it's 62 degrees in a Thunderdome.
Who could have known that the high was 35 today?
What is the deal?
I don't know.
I thought we were warming the place up.
This whole week.
There's always one last, Mother Nature and Old Man Winter. They have sex one last time before spring.
And they
comes.
rattle a little bit.
They do. And it came in, and a cold front came in, but that's fine because it's going to clear out. It's going to be a beautiful end of March, beautiful Easter, beautiful spring.
I agree. It's going to be glorious. And that rat fuck Punxsutawney Phil told us that the spring was going to come earlier than ever this week, and he might be doing a little baby face turn, and we're proud of Phil.
Thank you, Punks.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Punxsutawney Phil. You asked about what did I mean about getting smoked out of here like I was at an ayahuasca retreat. I'm getting my eyes on the first video that I've ever seen before of the ayahuasca retreat.
Yeah.
And remember, ayahuasca was brought into our particular lives whenever Aaron Rodgers said he went and did it down in the jungles of Costa Rica, I do believe, and how much it changed him and how much better it made him mentally. And then you start doing some research. It's like a lot of ex-military folks trying to battle PTSD are doing this ayahuasca. It's been around for, depending upon who you believe, thousands, if not millions of years, depending on who you talk to. So now we're getting eyes on it because Jordan Poyer went down last year. It was such a massive experience. He was like, he wanted to share this with more people so they knew what is potentially possible in a different country with different laws and different viewpoints on things. So we're getting document the entire trip pretty much.
Yeah.
And Jordan's down there, Von Miller's down there, Aaron Rodgers is down there.
Right.
There's some ceremonial stuff that takes place. They go into these huts seemingly. They put smoke in there. You come out looking vastly different. Obviously, you've been through it. I couldn't even imagine how hot it is down there. And I appreciate the fact that Poyer's sharing this information. And I appreciate the fact that people are doing this, looking to better themselves mentally and change themselves. But this one's not for me. No. After I watched the video, I am not. There's Aaron in the middle, obviously, going through it. He is an avid user of ayahuasca and believes in everything that it can do for people. And it has shown that it can definitely turn lives around, more optimism, more hope, better viewpoint on everything. I'm not saying that there isn't, upside to this. If you talk to literally every human that's ever done it, the only people that seemingly bury it are people that haven't done it and say, these hippies need to stop going into the jungle and do their thing. But I'm appreciative of Jordan Poyer putting that video out because there's no way I'm the right guy to go do this.
I don't think so.
Me either.
As a human who has potentially tripped a few times on some things, I don't think you ever want any negative energy going into it. Me walking through a jungle with native Costa Ricans playing the drums and the smoke that's coming in there, I think even I, who is maybe the biggest, this is dope, I'll do it guy in the history, I think I'd be a little bit rattled. I don't know if I'm mentally tough enough to do it, but if I get to a point, where I would like to go change some things, either about my viewpoints or how I'm feeling or how my brain's operating, I think we know the right people to go do it with.
Yeah, I think so.
They got it all figured out here. La Familia of Aaron Rodgers.
Absolutely. But yeah, you're right. One look at this video, hey, that's not something I'm ever going to be doing. And that's okay.
They look like they're having fun.
That's okay. I don't think having fun is the objective.
No.
Normally when I go on vacation, it is.
It's not a vacation.
Well,
that's a retreat.
Yeah, but they're in a different country, and they were at a retreat it looked like they were on a resort.
Bathing suits
and there
on.
was different plants.
This is a spiritual journey, Tony. It's
Thank you, Nick, for saying the proper thing I was looking for. It's not a vacation. This is getting better. This is working on yourself.
Yeah, but their season just ended. They should be relaxing and go on vacation.
You've already done that. Jordan Poyer's swinging the sticks. He's playing the hand pan.
They work on themselves all year long, lifting weights and doing sprints.
We're talking about in between the years.
It's different type
Talking
of work.
about emotional work on themselves.
Not familiar with that.
Next time we talk to any of them that are on that thing, we will certainly bring that video up and say, so what's going on here?
Yeah, have to know
what's going on. Are they smoking you out right now? Is it 1,000 degrees in there? That's all I saw was how bad I would be sweating as a human that runs hot and would not mind my house to be 63 degrees. I would not care if it was 63 degrees everywhere that I went all the time. It looked like it was 1,000 degrees in there, but I assume they'll all come back and say it made them better. So congrats on a safe journey, boys.
Hell yeah.
And ladies. I believe there's a
Hats
couple-
off.
Would like to know more.
That one lady was going through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were.
they were
Bringing her juices.
Hey, we got 2 arms for you to.
The juice did look really good.
Yeah, it did. I mean, it's straight from the jungle, baby.
And were they eating little edibles there whenever
I
they
don't
were
know
handling
what
something?
that
Was that
was.
little
I'm
edibles?
sure it's like protein. Maybe
Could have been an
some
Altoid.
peanuts.
Like, hey, this stuff makes your breath smell like shit. Here's an Altoid when you get out of the thing.
They don't care about smell over there, Tony.
What are you
Everyone-
talking about?
First I was down.
How do you know?
I mean, you could just tell. It didn't look as though everybody was keeping up with their hygienal,
Well, there was some mud. It looked like there was some mud.
Good for exfoliating.
And also, I learned the messaging is we're just visitors here.
Yep.
So I think it does put life into perspective a little bit, which could potentially change some things. Obviously, anytime you experience something life-altering, you start thinking about all the little things and what really matters and what doesn't. I assume this is a very similar thing. I think they're all back safe. I think I think I saw Aaron playing in a a football tournament, fresh out of it that he normally plays in. Jordan Poyer, the request is in a chit chat with him about the documentary he's making.
Nice.
When are we going to see more of this? How much of the process are we seeing? Because I am intrigued, but also I'm like, I run hot. I don't know if the jungle's where I need to be on to do anything. Can you do that in L.A.? Do they do that in L.A.?
I don't think so.
I think there are
Although
little
maybe you could.
stations because I believe we have heard of
Or like Sweden, it's cooler there this time of year.
Yeah, put me up in Iceland.
Average temp in Costa Rica in March is 82 degrees.
And then they were putting fire into the hut.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you're next to the fireplace in the middle of the jungle.
Pretty humid looking too.
Hey, he's now a member of the Dolphins.
Hell yeah.
Might have spoke to a dolphin.
It's official today. Yeah, could have. You never
Might
know.
have.
It's official. Jordan Poyer signed his 1-year, $2 million deal. On the left there is Rosen Haas. In the middle there is Jordan Poyer with a brand new perspective on life, maybe reaffirming some of his beliefs that he has shared over the last year or two. He's officially a Miami Dolphin. Hey, Dolphins back on the up and up, Gumps, because I remember there was a time where you were a little bit down on the Dolphins with some of the dumb moves you thought and the rest of the Dolphins fans thought they were potentially making.
Yeah, you're definitely not going to replace Christian Wilkins, but Chris Greer has done a very good job with the money that was available under the cap.
So you're pumped about these moves?
Yeah, I'm back in. I'm back in.
Okay, well, you're the perfect person for us to talk about this next particular thing. Sports that are happening involves soccer.
Yep.
Obviously, Luis Suarez and Messi are dominating for Inter Miami. They're wearing pink. They're looking cool. They're having a good time. They're winning games. Right, Gumpsh?
Yeah, Suarez leads the league in goals and assists.
Pretty good.
Came on in the 62nd minute on Saturday, scored 2 goals.
Okay, so he's this year's Messi. Messi hasn't even really started doing Messi stuff. Why would he? The season's so young.
Yeah.
Bingo.
He's out with a hamstring injury right now.
Yeah, but if it was later in the season and
Oh, yeah.
it was for the MLS Cup,
If he plays, he scores. That's just how it
Did
goes.
he stretch?
he did stretch. They said actually he was trying to do his security guard sprinting routine. Yeah, he wasn't ready for it because the field's a little bit bigger for him.
Sure.
On the outside, he's healthy. Okay, so the MLS being run by Inter Miami, we could say safely?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we'll bet on them. Let's go to the Turkey League. I like the Turkey League.
Oh, yeah.
We never talk about the Turkey
Competitive.
Soccer League. This might be my new favorite soccer league, though. We got players doing spinning heel kicks on protesters. Yellow jersey. Hi!
Boom!
Hi! Hi! He was sizing that up, too.
Yeah.
Protester had no idea, had a mask on its head, I believe. Boom! Tries to get a spinning heel kick in there. I appreciate the attempt, even if it wasn't landed as clean as we would see some UFC guys or girls hit on a Saturday night. I just like that the attempt took place. There was also a spear that took place a little bit later in this. Boom! Big time punch, jump on top, grind and pound as another blue coat comes flying in. This rarely takes place. We're talking about old Phil Posky down there at Duke whenever they rushed the court and he got hit and and gets carried out of there. And should we stop rushing the court as a whole? And that whole Jay Billis said put him in jail. Didn't mean it, I don't think. I think he was just saying something has to take place in this entire thing. Soccer riots are ruthless. We've heard stories about Mexico, what has taken place in some of their league stuff. We've heard stories in other places. I like the fact that in this Turkey League, the boys on the team, which was named
Fenerbahce.
which is yellow jerseys.
Yes.
They were down against who?
Trabzonspor. They were down. They're second and third in the Turkish league.
And Trabzonspor was at home. They were in the lead. They lose.
Oh, no.
Because Trabzonspor.
Yeah.
The spinning kick was the guy who scored the game-winning goal in the 87th minute.
Oh!
Yeah, dog.
I'm coming into your house. I'm stealing your joy. And then I'm going to kick you right in the mouth. I love it. What a day for this guy.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Now, there's obviously going to be a lot of conversation about whether or not players in league should be attacking fans that come onto the field. And should fans come on the field ever? How close should they be allowed to players? It's been happening in all sports. It happens in football, college football. It happens in college basketball. Yep. It happens in soccer. It happens in things. And at some point, we are going to get to where the players are just going to start handling their own business. Yeah. We remember Anthony Schlegel of the Ohio State Buckeyes rock bottoming a fan that was coming out and actually having a photo of him mid-form with his khakis killing a guy. I believe there's a Pittsburgh Steeler who headhunted a Cleveland. James Harrison headbutted a fan that came onto the field. The Los Angeles Rams buckled a guy that ran onto a field a couple of years ago. And now we have in soccer a spinning heel kick to a guy coming on the field wearing a mask. It's like, I am a bit worried that this whole fan-player interaction thing could get much, much worse.
Yeah.
But when I see that, I go, okay, I like that team. I want to bet on that soccer team. Yeah. The team that is going into somebody else's yard and kicking them in the mouth while beating them is a team that I think is filled with dogs, and we should be betting on them immediately. How long is the turkey season to go? How many more games does this guy have to score in? And do they have him on any of the sports books, more specifically ESPN Bet?
They are international break right now. He used to play for Belgium. He's not with Belgium anymore. He used to be on Chelsea as well. He didn't do very well in the English Premier League, but the Turkish league, there's about 2 months left, usually right around summer.
Can we bet on it? Is it?
Yeah.
We can.
Oh, yeah.
That team's winning.
Batshuayi.
Who?
Batshuayi.
Who's that?
That's the dog.
Okay, what's the team?
The Fenerbahce.
Batshuayi?
Where's Turkey? Turkey's over there by Greece?
Yeah.
Yeah, bingo.
Greece?
Mediterranean.
Same area.
Turkey?
Italy, Greece, Turkey.
It's over there?
Beautiful country.
We knew that.
Gorgeous country.
Croatia.
As a teenager.
Croatia's near, I think.
As a teenager, I got a chance to play against the Turkish national team in Austria, I think. They all look so cool. Great hair. Pretty job.
Were they doing that stuff?
Well, one of them found me pretty good, yeah. One of them found me pretty good. I mean, that's going to happen.
They're normally jacked. They normally have good tattoos.
They set the tone a little bit.
Yeah.
They got kicked in the mouth, though, by, what's that guy's name?
Batshuayi.
Bat your eye.
Is he up for the Balloon d'Or because of what he did to that guy's face?
When he was young and up and coming, he was supposed to be the next big thing, signed on for Chelsea and kind of died off.
We can't be having these brawls between fans and players, though.
No.
Okay, we got to get to a point where we're not, because sports need to keep the passion. We need to keep the emotion. We don't want to have to wrangle people's emotion and excitement for sports. So we got to start getting along. But with that being said, you see a guy setting up a heel kick, it might be coming. And Filipowski?
Yeah.
I mean, imagine if he just hit a... Hey!
Is Filipowski playing in the tournaments? Or he's still out from the fan?
No, I remember next week he hit a...
Oh, yeah, he did the windmill.
Oh, he was fine?
They need to show that video to all of college basketball and Jay Billis just to be like, hey, look, we get it. Things can happen when fans rush the court, but look what could happen. Batshuayi just kicked this guy in the face.
Other sports that are happening, hockey, still very awesome. Pittsburgh Penguins beat the shit out of the Detroit Red Wings. 6-3, just an absolute clobbering. The Detroit Red Wings, who were once a hot team and maybe had found greatness again like they had back in the 1400s, have put a trash company's logo on their jersey. And since then have only won one game out of like 10. Most recently, the Pittsburgh Penguins, who were on a little bit of a schneid, they're saying. Trading away some of their best players. Oh, no, they're sellers, not buyers at the trade deadline. Well, if they get hot, they can get going. Let's get the company that has a dumpster on their jersey to turn it all around. Big shout out to the Detroit Red Wings for doing what they did.
Shout out. Remove the patch immediately. What are we doing? We're being greedy, corporate, fat cats, can't have it. Hockey gods hate it. And now the Red Wings aren't going to make the playoffs.
Nick, who is the team in hockey that's supposed to be great? Is it still the Florida Panthers?
It's still Florida. Vancouver out west has put together quite a season. They've kind of been off the radar because they are so far out there. And then, big East Coast bias. Not a lot of people are staying up late to watch those games. But Gumpy knows, too. The Cougars out in Vancouver, they are putting together an unbelievable season.
I saw Jackie Aces was a third star of Las Vegas Golden Knights game, I believe, yesterday. Came out, gave a stuffed animal to one of the members of the Las Vegas Golden Knights faithful, like we have been in the past. They won, yeah. The Golden Knights still undefeated in
300
game 304 now, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
304
Wow.
right now. Golden Knights in it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Noah Hannafin's starting to get a little.
He was second star.
Yeah, getting his bearings underneath him. I mean, just apples after apples every single game. Jackie Ace is obviously healthy, so yeah. Let's just say the boys are in prime form. Once the playoffs roll around.
How come nobody respects Jackie Aces?
It's a question I've been asking myself time and time again, ever since they landed Jackie Aces. It makes no sense. Every time the guy's out there, he scores or he's assisting on goals. I mean,
where's he from?
I believe he is a Chelmsford, Massachusetts man.
Oh, good American guy.
Yeah, he's a good American boy.
Good American hockey player.
Exactly.
We need to respect and appreciate them. Hey, welcome back to hockey, Jackie Aces.
Hell yeah, boy, Jackie.
Basketball is happening. More specifically, NBA basketball is happening. Kyrie Irving last night had a game winner that was absolutely stupid. 2.8 seconds left, inbound pass. He gets the rock. Everybody knows that Kyrie Irving has handles. Do they know he's got a left-handed sky hook with touch to win it in Dallas over the reigning champion Denver Nuggets? Now, a lot of people commented on this around the NBA. A lot of studs, Dame, Trey, all of them paying homage in respect to Kyrie Irving being the only human on earth that would be able to do this seemingly as easily as he made it look. An absolute stallion with the basketball. Has to be. To be able to do everything that happened back whenever COVID was taking place.
For sure.
That is, I think, the indicator to all of us how basketball feels about Kyrie, because there was laws trying to be changed in New York City so that he could play basketball. Kyrie has been great at basketball since the day I assume he touched the basketball. And last night, he made his teammates gobsmacked, and he made the rest of the NBA gobs. A little bit of a reminder of who Kyrie Irving is last night.
Yeah, like watching Maxi Kleber inbound the ball and Luka Doncic underneath the net, watch this ball go in. Like, there's a different angle of Luka, and Luka can't believe it. Like, he goes down into the gargoyle, crouching down. How the hell did he just make that? To your point about being able to do this, being the only guy, I believe growing up he played basketball without a backboard, so he actually was strictly going forward.
And his offhand.
Yeah, with his left hand and his right hand, of course. A lot of people say he's the most skilled basketball player in the NBA
Dribbling
now.
wise,
Just
for sure.
Yeah, bingo. Tony, you're nailing it.
Trey Young actually posted that what people are missing, in this entire conversation is, offhand, it's incredible, it's on Joker, who's the reigning MVP, it's to win the game. Trey Young points out he even sets up for like a three to kind of freeze the defender a little bit. A little sauce. Oh, I'm going to three. No, I'm actually going to cut back in and do this. So as the NBA guys start looking at this, they're like, all in 2.8 seconds, this guy sets up a fake three, looks at the clock, then looks at the hoop, then offhand sky hook in Joker's face, buries it home. It's like, what a play. Great for basketball. Good for Dallas. Okay, good for the Dallas Mavericks. Good for Mark Cuban, too. Mark Cuban's been embattled.
Been in it,
I would say.
Yeah.
He's signed up for it.
Yeah, of course.
He's asked for it. That's on him. But he's certainly been in a lot of billionaire kerfuffles.
Yeah, you can say that.
I would say as of late. So Kyrie, Luka getting hot at the right time. Let's go. How many Dallas Mavs? Another sport that's happening, golf. Max Homa almost killed a guy.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, some doofus who is at the Players' Championship this weekend at TPC Sawgrass said, I'm going to stand right in front of a golfer who is golfing, and I'm going to get the best angle of a shot that anybody has ever gotten. And in return, what he got was a nice little buzz of a golf ball over his head with one of the most pure oohs I've heard in some time. Oh! What?
Yeah.
Now, Max Homa had to come out and obviously say that he didn't hit anyone in the head on 14, although that sound could have sounded like a cartoon character's head getting hit by a golf ball. But it did smoke a tree, just like we like to smoke trees. Really thankful it missed the guy, obviously, he would go on to say. Here's the back view of it all. And I think we could see the person's hand and head right there, right over top of it.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So scary.
So close.
That's big nightmare at these golf tournaments, too. I got a chance playing Tahoe a couple different years, and you'll have people right there.
Why?
And it's like, okay, Max Homa, I understand that you should feel comfortable standing directly in front of him. Don't golfers line up by their feet? Those feet are staring right at. I mean, that is
ridiculous.
That is aiming right at me, and you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna get the best shot of all time. He's a pro. Don't hit me. Don't do it. Now, I assume he bladed a little bit and ended up hitting a tree. Not his best shot. Golfers have those. Professional golfers have those every once in a while. But that's biggest fear of going to a golf tournament.
By far. Well, like, without a question.
I'm going to get smoked in the head with a golf ball. Nobody got smoked in the head.
Right. Thought someone died. Not just smoked in the head. Like, you said it. You actually commented on the thing, like the ooze after with, like, the scream right at the end of the video. It made it seem like some guy just got a golf ball into his forehead.
It kind of reminds me of that night in Utah whenever they had to cancel the game but told nobody to panic.
Sure.
Whenever COVID started with the sounds. Run that video of Max Homa one more again here. There is real trauma seemingly being had by some of the people that are watching. This ooh is so.
Oh! Yep.
Yeah. That scream.
We hope everybody's okay. Max Homa would inevitably come out and apologize to all who experienced the trauma of it all. But Max Homa, that's not on you, pal.
No.
That person should not be standing there. Now, that person's going to say, why they let me stand there? And that's a good question, too.
Sure.
I'm not 100% sure why that's allowed. But we got spinning heel kicks to the head of an onlooker. And then now we got a golf ball buzzing the tower. Let's all be safer out here.
Yeah.
Let's all be safer.
Great camera angle, though.
That Players tournament was awesome.
Yeah,
It was
incredible.
It was good.
Great
It was. They needed that.
I appreciate. Yeah, they did. They did. They did. I liked it with Harmon. They just cut out the wiggles. They cut to him 15 wiggles in, whatever it is.
Right.
Yeah.
However many. Only had like 2 wiggles, and then he would actually hit it, and it was like, director, producer, good job here.
No,
this is smart. They were hanging on to like Scotty Scheffler as he would like walk, and you could clearly tell that they were like, all right, he just started. Let's do a nice 7 count, and we cut to him. And then watching him was awesome because he's a phenomenal golfer.
Yeah. No, the production's spot on. If I'm Liv, I'm saving some of that money, and we're buying the entire production team so that they can replicate that and make the Sundays actually, fun to watch for Liv. That's the biggest thing.
What are you saying?
I'm sick of it. Look, great tournament yesterday. Awesome tournament. As good of a tournament as they possibly could have had. Cool, we get it. Phil, you did your thing. PGA, you did your thing. Now we got to set our swords aside. We got to go.
Allegedly, they're all meeting down at Baja Mar.
Yep.
Leader of Liv is down there. Tiger Woods is down there. I assume Monahan is down there.
Yeah.
Because the big PGA Liv merger that was announced and like kind of blindsided seemingly everybody was nowhere near actually done, I guess, whenever it was announced that it was potentially happening. So who leaked that? Definitely not Monahan being like,
no way.
Let's get this out that I told everybody that you should not do a deal with these people. But we did do a deal, even though I guess they were nowhere near done with the deal. So I think they're still trying to figure out how they can come together because could you imagine Brooks Koepka cooking yesterday?
Exactly.
And DJ maybe getting hot because the long balls were able to get to the green.
Oh, yeah.
Rombo being able to get to the green. It's like that players could have been even better, which is what we're all saying.
Yeah.
Let's put our swords aside. Let's move forward.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
But with that being said, Liv, you got to become watchable.
Yeah.
If you guys are going to pay for everybody, we need you to be watchable.
Right.
It's tough to watch. Why do I got to hear some doofus's aux cord when we're cutting to the 5th hole,
Yeah, you shouldn't.
At least have your own DJ run every music that is out there. We're cutting to somebody on the 5th hole. That music is whatever. And then you got the shit all over the green for what the putt is. It's like, I can't even see the damn hole. So I have no idea how impressive this is. They figured out how to film putting. It's zoomed out, and then you literally just zoom in. That's what putting is. That's TV putting. So we don't need all the shit on there. Let alone it's just hard to take serious. It is very hard to take serious while you're watching it, but I appreciate what they're trying to do.
For sure. Music is cool. Let's leave that to like the Pro-Am day though. Like once the actual golf tournament starts, like I don't think anyone on the PGA Tour.
No, but we listen when we play. We listen to music.
For sure, but we're not playing for millions and millions of dollars and heightened state.
No one's watching us
Like,
on
do you
TV.
think Rahm was like, I don't really want to play on the PGA Tour anymore because on Live, like they're gonna be playing like DJ Tiesto while I'm teeing off. Like that's the whole reason. Like these guys don't give a fuck. Fans, I mean. As long as booze is being served, like I think you can do without the music because it does. It makes it feel Mickey Mouse. It feels like you're just watching like a bachelor party.
This doesn't matter.
No,
that's what
all.
it makes you feel like. This does not matter.
Bingo.
Obviously, they are not taking this serious. Which not your fault, Liv. Our fault. My fault, mostly.
It's been ingrained in us.
Yeah, but it's not just golf. Like NBA plays music and then it stops.
Yeah, exactly.
Football plays music, then it stops.
Baseball, same deal.
Stop. Like
hockey.
When things matter.
Yeah.
It's like
in theory it was cool. Like, hey, this is going to be way different than one of those stuffy PGA events, but like, it's not cool.
Yeah, you're outlaws. We get it.
Yeah,
You guys are outlaws. Way to go. And I appreciate what you're doing, but it's hard to watch.
It is.
Yes.
And they need to. I mean, you can't be on the CW. You just can't.
CW's investing in sport.
They are. They're
spending money. You got NFL Films deals.
And that's awesome. But you know what the CW doesn't have? The Konica Minolta Swing Hub. You know, the tracer, all that kind of stuff. Like the stuff that they actually show on like CBS and NBC. It's like, oh shit, that's sweet. Like when they are really like breaking down their swings and it's going slow. Like all of the technology and stuff like that.
Liv should have all of that.
They should. Yeah. They should. But I wonder, I mean, who knows why they don't, but it seems like it would be very easy, to Foxy's point, where you watch the players from this weekend and be like, all right, we need to recreate that. For
People have done that since beginning of time in TV.
Right.
Yeah.
People have this business has been, let me take the label off it. Let me put a new label on it. Let me go ahead and send it out for a different hour on a different network. Here, let me go do it again. Oh, we're going to start an entire network. Just cookie cutter.
Yeah.
People have done, when you figure it out, it's like, all right, here, it's been figured out. I think CW's having to, or not CW, well, I guess kind of. I think Liv has to fight that. I think Liv's going to have to fight that. Because we're so ingrained in watching, like, weekend golf.
Yeah.
And, like, it matters. And following along with Schauffele. And then Scotty's ahead of him.
Exactly.
Because Scotty was fine. So Scotty's done. He's waiting now. Well, this guy Buckle, as they're coming down. Wyndham Clark gets hot while he's coming down the final ones. It's in there. It's like, could you imagine watching Wyndham hit his approach shot with Prada playing right next to him?
Exactly.
Because some drunk
and he's on
wanted to play. Because Connor was sitting there and he's like,
Play Prada!
Wyndham, this is what you need to hear for this month. We're going close. We're going close. And then that's how I feel when I'm watching it. It's very, and I'm an old man yelling at a cloud right now. I get that, but they need to figure it out, especially if they're going to have all the other known good golfers.
Yeah.
Because I would like to watch them. I would like to watch them.
Imagine and Wyndham's doing this on 7 instead of 17 because it's a shotgun start and that's how it works there. So he's finishing on hole 8 instead of 18 or something like that. And that's because that's a big part of it. Like a lot of it's the golfers, it's coverage, but it's the courses that they're playing too. Like we've all watched these courses forever. Like imagine the Masters, like they weren't finishing on 18, they were finishing on 3 or something like that. Like that's all part of it too.
Yeah, because the course is a player.
Bingo.
The course is a part of the entire thing.
Yeah.
So they're having to find new courses, introduce them to people. Like, hey, this one voted the toughest in tri-state area last year. Wow. This is a good course. This is a tough one. You're right, because the courses are selling themselves. Like TPC Sawgrass.
Exactly.
How about how the wind started changing a little bit towards the end? Harmon's ball started getting a little bit loose. Wait a minute, is the lefty done for? Scotty Scheffler sends one into the middle of the green for the par 3. Wait a minute, there's a little right to left up there? Did anybody tell me about that? Blows the other side, then he rolls one to an inch and a half or whatever from 80 feet somehow. It was phenomenal. It was fun to watch.
At least now.
Congrats to PGA.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you were saying too, with recreating stuff, like almost forever, no matter what it is. Like when you're trying to recreate something, most places don't have just a bottomless pit of money to do so.
Bingo.
Like they could just be like, all right, fuck it, let's do everything the PGA is doing. Money is no object, no cost. It doesn't matter. We can actually overspend, and it's not going to matter. Like, I thought that was the whole point. Like, we're going to throw as much money at this fucking thing because no one can compete with it, and it just isn't.
We're golf enthusiasts that we watch every weekend.
Right.
I don't know enough about the back stories. I know Oklahoma State had a team there for a bit because they were just pumping out a bunch of pros. I know that the golf boys were rapping a little bit there for a bit, and I think their generation's kind of gone now. They've a little bit grown up. I don't do enough of that research, but I watch every weekend, and it's like I would like to watch them all.
Yeah,
that'd be nice.
That's the whole point. The Live lineup is already better than the PGA Tour lineup. Now the production needs to be just as good.
And the PGA lineup's been showing up the last few weeks.
They have been.
Their studs have been playing. Now, Rory needs to figure it out. Ricky Fowler, he needs to not be on clips yelling at people with loud phones.
Yeah, exactly.
And he needs to be on leaderboards, but they'll figure that out.
Justin Thomas, too.
Yeah, come on, JT.
Yeah.
Spieth. Now this week, since it's been 2 big tournaments in a row, let's not get our expectations too high.
All right, so we're going to see W this weekend.
March Madness this weekend. We don't have to
you're
worry
right.
about
Good point.
golf.
You're 100%
Still
right.
have
Oh, my
to.
God.
Okay.
Speaking of this weekend, Friday, we'll be live at
The Fieldhouse.
not the bar.
No.
The Fieldhouse.
Athletic facility, the Fieldhouse.
2,500 people max capacity. I believe there will be a fire marshal keeping an eye on the entire situation. We'll be live 11 to 2 local time. Come join us. We got Roman Reigns scheduled to come. We will acknowledge our tribal chief, who I think is potentially acknowledging Caitlin Clark.
Oh, hell yeah.
What?
I mean, he's coming up.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
Paying his respects.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or maybe what if he I
goes
don't
heel.
know.
Puts her through a table.
Goes heel.
Oh my. I don't know. Where's he gonna
Well, I don't know. I thought we were just spitballing here.
yeah, well, I don't know.
I don't know if they're going to want her going through a table.
I don't know if there's any physicality.
I don't know if she has
I
a
don't know if
choice.
there's any physicality on Friday.
She might put him through a table.
She could.
Also, so he's just showing up at their practice. Where's he seeing Caitlin Clark at?
I have no idea. I thought we were just rattling here. But
ideas?
Yeah, I have no knowledge of the event
Oh,
whatsoever.
I thought you knew
aside
more
from
than
us.
I did.
No.
I thought you did have a little
The
bit.
only thing I know is that we're going to Iowa Friday.
Who are they
Can't
playing?
wait.
That's it.
It's the winner of a play-in game. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to beat the shit out of whoever they play first round. So, no.
Well, I do believe that Caitlin, just like how Golden State had their run up in their arena, the hoop's a little bit bigger in there for them.
Oh, yeah.
Just like when Golden State was up there. Remember when that whole Splash Brothers thing started?
Yep.
I actually wondered to myself, these fuckers got to have bigger hoops at home. And they change it. Equipment manager changes it each quarter so they can do this entire thing. Feels like the way she shoots in there. It is. I don't want to say it's not carefree everywhere, but
It kind of is.
Mostly.
she's a stud. I cannot wait to get out to Iowa to experience the whole entire Caitlin Clark experience.
I'm very excited.
I assume her photo's going to be on every billboard.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I'm thinking whenever we arrive. Whenever we walk into Casey's and we say, you know what, we want something at breakfast pizza. It's got a lot of bacon on it. We're going to see her face, I assume, right?
Oh, yeah.
Hope so.
We have a box of the Caitlin's Crunch Time from Hy-Vee.
We're eating those Friday morning.
Last time they did that was right after the Rams won the Super Bowl. It was Warner's Crunch Time. Used to have that in my room growing up. So, yeah, she's a pretty big deal.
Are we allowed to eat that, or is there only a limited amount of boxes because they sent us one?
There's definitely a limited amount of boxes, and it is just Frosted Flakes. So if you want to just go out and get like a Tony the Tiger box of Frosted
No,
Flakes.
these are the
eat that
Caitlin
instead.
Crunches.
Different.
Well, it's
Frame
not,
that.
though.
You frame that.
It's not, though. Yeah, you do. I mean, or
We keep the box. We eat the food. We keep the box. Oh, we put Frosted Flakes in box just like they do with bottles of
boom
of liquor at bars.
exactly.
My parents used to have the Mary Lemieux Yummer Yager
Thank you, Bruce.
Wheaties box.
Ooh, that's a good get.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Caitlin's Crunch Time? These are not Frosted Flakes. These are the greatest college basketball player of all time's Crunch Times. Right here. Caitlin Clark. Caitlin's Crunch Time. You can also win an autographed Caitlin Clark basketball. Look for a winning card inside select boxes. It's like golden tickets. So I'm supposed to open this thing.
Yeah, you have to. You should do that right now. Yeah, see if you're.
I don't want to.
You want to be able to reseal it. Good move.
Yeah,
Good move.
thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, because sometimes you're.
I'm an animal.
You eat cereal.
Yeah, big,
you know.
big dumb barbarian. You
Yeah,
just
right.
rip that entire thing. And that could have happened. That could have
Gary V's so mad he just opened a collectible.
No, well, I was told to. It's right here on the fucking box.
Yeah.
Win an autographed Caitlin Clark basketball. Look for a winning card inside select boxes.
How could you not?
We'll buy a
look?
couple more this Friday.
Those do look like Frosted Flakes, but they're not. They're Caitlin's Crunch Time.
Okay. Is there any card in there?
Bomber.
Is it inside?
Is it in there?
Sift through it.
I don't think we won.
Looks like a
boys.
loser. Yeah. Son of a bitch.
What a horrible fucking box. I'm going to keep this forever.
Yeah, you should.
And with the flakes.
We love Big Ten cereal boxes here.
Hard to get back.
Careful.
Fucking thing don't fit back in there.
Got to wiggle it a little bit.
Good job. Well done.
Boom.
Boom. It's perfect.
Should we frame that
Brand new.
next to the Buckeye Heroes that we have?
Well, the Buckeye Heroes have really. I mean, one of the Buckeye Heroes flew to Jamaica, doesn't have any luggage, so now they're just wearing local costumes all week.
Yeah.
Good point.
Congrats to the Hawk family.
Yep.
Going on vacation in Jamaica. So excited to be there for spring break. Can't wait to pack all of our clothes for 100 kids.
Yeah.
Think about how long it took them
God.
to pack for that entire family. Get all the way down there. I guess luggage is nowhere near making it.
Yeah.
Luggage went to Trinidad and Tobago. They're currently in Jamaica, so they can only wear what they bought at the airport currently. They look cool, though.
Yeah, matching.
So many Bob Marley shirts.
Oh, so many.
Which that movie's going to be fantastic, I think. Has it already come out?
I think it already came out.
It came out a while ago. Came out, I think, before we went on break.
See?
No way.
That's the problem.
One of us would have watched it, right?
Has anybody watched it?
I have not.
We're watching that tonight.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Oh, no. It was released over a month ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
February 14th.
Yeah. The only reason I know this is because they were throwing out old One Love shirts at the Celtics game as their t-shirt.
Did you watch it?
Shirts. The movie?
Yeah.
No, but I know the story.
We're jamming.
Yeah, there are a lot of bangers in that.
Three Little Birds, dude.
Of course. Buffalo Soldier.
That was a part of an NFL storyline a few different times. Von Miller.
Yes, it was.
Driving in a drop top. Buffalo Soldier.
I think D-Hop used one of those.
Oh, yeah.
He did.
was a Buffalo Soldier.
I'm worried about Vaughn's chickens.
Somebody's taking care of him.
Well, no, but what if he went down and did the ayahuasca and the ayahuasca told him?
I don't think it's a vegan maker.
No, what if it said, fuck those chickens, sell them all, get rid of them?
Well, I think what will happen is exactly what happened with Harbaugh. Remember, Harbaugh said, the chicken's a scared bird, a skittish bird, don't want to eat chicken because I don't want to have that inside of me.
Yeah.
Actually openly promoed against chickens.
Yep.
Then he got chickens. I think his kids got chickens, and they lay eggs for him, and he had a complete turn. Babyface turn on these chickens. Maybe the greatest animal he's ever seen.
Yeah.
Production value, maintenance.
Yeah.
Very low. Production, very high. Yeah. I love these chickens. He said, we need more chickens in this entire thing. I'd assume if Von Miller went to the 8th dimension.
Yep.
Or 9.
That's pretty deep, right?
Are they trying to get to 9?
I mean, 9 is the final frontier. So I don't know if that was his first.
I think you got to go somewhere else to get to 9, though, don't you? Because I don't know if ayahuasca can get you there. We're in the middle of a lot of these conversations while I was incredibly edibled out of my mind.
Sure.
But I had a lot of questions. Yeah. And there was a lot of people around us that had experienced it. And it was my first time meeting them. Hey, good to see you. Did you do the, yeah.
Sit down.
I got some questions.
Yeah.
Where are we trying to get to? I guess we're in the 3rd currently, as you see. TV, probably 2D, unless you got scammed into buying a 3D like I did at Best Buy.
Sure.
Yes. I also think we are 3-dimensional beings, but I do think we are the first dimension.
No.
No?
I think you were wrong.
Okay, I might be. I just know it's 1
I
through
think we're
9.
in the 3rd dimension right
Okay.
now. I do believe we are currently in the 3rd dimension.
Okay.
Yes.
Google's telling me 3.
11th is the top.
That's what this website said.
Oh, see, now I know that we're not. I know that our information did not go past 10.
Yeah, because we heard that was you beat the game. That's final boss.
9 is like the final.
The Rock
is what we were told. But I'm sure, especially the internet, they probably all line up as far as ayahuasca information.
All right. Let's get the hell out of here.
Feels like 7's kind of wild.
7's wild. I know for a fact 4 is wild.
Hey, we have a big time announcement tomorrow.
Huge.
Big time announcement tomorrow. Not that big. Kind of big.
It's big.
Yeah,
it's big.
There will be people that don't think it's a big announcement.
No,
but there will be some people that are like, this is a big announcement.
Yep.
So I don't really know. I don't know how to sell this.
It's a fairly huge announcement.
Yeah. Lot of investment going in. Not financial. A lot of time.
Yeah.
Attention.
Effort.
A lot of effort into said announcement, not only from us, very little, but from others.
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit, yeah.
Quite a bit more investment from others that we are big fans of and we are a part of in the venture. It's big.
Huge.
For them, for some.
Right.
Everybody.
Not everybody will see this as a big deal, I don't think. No, man. Why is that? Because they feel like you don't think it's that big of a deal.
To be completely honest, there's so many things going on with said business right now that I'm not sure which announcement we're talking about. To be fair.
Con man.
But I do know that everything that is in the works is massive, and I know that the one thing that could be announced is very massive. That's why I don't think the one thing that could be announced is the same thing that we're talking about.
No, yeah, I think you're talking about something different right now.
Yep.
Yeah, that is nowhere near announceable
I think that's what
yet.
he's alluding to.
Yeah, that one's nowhere near announceable yet.
Zito just jumped into my ear. Yes, this is incredible. It is massive.
It's not the one you were thinking of.
No, it is not the one I was thinking of.
Big announcement coming tomorrow.
Yeah.
For some.
I'm excited to hear what you were thinking about.
Well, you know what I was thinking about.
Yeah,
You know what I was thinking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We do have some big shit cooking.
Yeah.
To be honest, this ESPN relationship is hilarious.
Thank you.
Because the people that we've gotten to meet, and then like with how we operate, here idea or concept somebody's doing, and like, wait, we're able to, yeah, okay, cool. This is our take on it, and then it's like, okay, here it goes. So there's a lot of big shit coming. Let's focus on Iowa.
I know. Yep.
Iowa on Friday is
yeah.
a big deal.
Hell yeah.
And we got the
Then we got the NFL owners meetings on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Then we got draft night in Detroit.
yes.
Mania before that.
WrestleMania
Go, man, before
Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mania is 2 weeks from Friday. Yeah. So
What's that?
Mania is
You
2
got it,
weeks
brother.
From Friday.
That's why, man. We've been on the road to WrestleMania.
Exactly.
I guess Thursday, really, because do you guys have that event that was
No,
announced?
that's happening on Friday.
Okay.
Hall of Fame we're talking about Friday.
Yep.
We got a lot of shit coming up, boys.
Sure
There's
do.
a lot of things.
Yeah.
This is the old, it's maybe too easy to do stuff now. So agree to stuff. Say we do stuff, and then those things are able to happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just
Those are fun stuff.
Yeah. Iowa owners meetings. That's a pop in. That's a day.
That's fun
It's easy.
stuff. Tonight, Raleigh, North Carolina.
Boom.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to get down there for Monday Night Raw. Should be a great crowd.
Are you
We got to
starting
find
Raw
out,
with
too.
The siren?
Yeah,
No, I won't do the siren because Bill Coward.
but this is for Raw. It's not for her.
Yeah, but it would be the hurricane siren, and everybody would know.
You got to get one of those beer sticks.
Okay, I will.
Those things are awesome.
There still will be
Gonna try.
screaming Caniacs, too.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of screaming.
20,000
Caniacs.
screaming craniacs, brother.
Brother. Including Bill Carr.
Swag.
Boom.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a good night.
it's great.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's get the hell out of here. We got some big news tomorrow.
Huge.
Let's do tomorrow, big.
Don't sell short.
Massive.
Huge.
Massive.
Gumpy's gonna think it's bigger than everybody else. There's a tip.
Yeah.
There you go. And I think that's a great tip.
Well said.
All right.
Well said.
All right. As you go about your life, let's make sure we're telling the people that we love them. Let's be a friend. Let's tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. You never know what anybody's going through. And remember, we're in this damn thing together. Always will be. Always have been. Team on me. Team on three. 1, 2, 3. Team. Goodbye.